Uh, Take a quick stretch, because it's been a few good weeks. Last we left off, your group met an untimely end at the hands of one of the mightiest threats possible to encounter in the lands of Xhorhas, that of a Baelor known as Vazarun, the Flame of Animosity. A hell-bent Baelor seeking destruction in the name of Bane, god of tyranny. You, however, with the assistance of a supernatural force, another Baelor known as Naviesk, were able to fend off and defeat this Baelor. Not before, however, he exacted his death throes upon your party, ripping and throwing and hurling whatever he could to try and kill as many of you as he can, to take you with him in his demise. However, you were able to persist. Most of you. Though Persephone was dead, resurrections were performed on a few of your party members, and many of you were able to return to life, with Naviesk promising that he would assist you in whatever way he could, keeping Persephone's body, at the very least, intact with its soul, long enough for you guys to find some method to regenerate the destroyed body of Persephone. However, he would not do this for free. It is against his ways. He would do this on the account that you helped him with a task. One that is a driving point of Eric's destiny for the longest time, seeking an elemental fragment, connecting him and your party closer to the Earth. That being the heart seed of the Arbor Exemplar. Entering into the tree itself through a torn bark portal, you walked into the soul of this tree. And in there you found its guardian. You were able to swiftly defeat this guardian with the help of Varen Thelius, the task hand of Bozazon and old friend now of your party. Your successes led you out of the tree, where you spoke with Naviesk, and completing your side of the bargain, had Eridanis agree, for a few reasons, to take the burden of this tree stone upon himself, and to carry this power. After warnings and a farewell exchange with Varen, your group went to find a shooting star. A loose thread connected to Eridanis somewhere in the wastes, a gift from his patron council, who watches and waits. Once arriving there, however, the moment was cut short by some familiar faces. Those of the criminals, scoundrels, and no-good ne'er-do-wells who you've wronged in your adventure up until now. Those who you'd heroically defeated and put behind bars had managed to escape in the turmoil caused by the Baelor's rampage. You defeated them once more as they attempted to accost you. However, you sought not to spill blood, but to instead teach them a lesson, sending a few of them running with tails between their legs and knocking the other few out, robbing them once more. You left them stranded in the middle of the wastes with little equipment and whatever wits they have about them, if any. You now find yourselves wandering in the wastes, away from the star after this encounter, going through what belongings you have and having completed this revelation. As we trudge along, your group seems currently directionless, as I need to know what your next steps are. Currently, you'd be about midway point between the Arbor Exemplar and the asteroid. However, I have no clue where you wish to go and what you wish to do.
I recall last session we had some discussions about heading to Rosona. Not really, from the sounds of it.
To elaborate, it was suggested by Varen that your group, instead of destroying the Arbor Exemplar's Heartseed, instead go with him to Rosona to beseech the Bright Queen to resurrect Persephone. However, this was something he was less than willing to do, in the events that you actually killed the tree. He said he would still help you if you went to Rossona, however, it would be much harder than now. Because he does, as he admitted, he does plan to tell the Bright Queen everything about what happened. But the choice is always there.
Well, judging by the crushing silence,
I got interrupted, I'm sorry.
I'd wager our next step, barring any other unfulfilled promises here, would be to head over to... let's ping it all the way over here.
I gotta zoom out, holy shit.
Yeah.
Where the fuck? Where did you
It's a different
ping?
map.
It is a different
You have
map.
to go all the way.
Oh my god.
I say.
You have to go to the world map.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. Gotta see where you're pinging. Yeah, that's what I thought.
For those watching from home.
I brought it up on screen, don't worry.
Yeah. Alright. Well.
Mm-hmm. I guess, for now, to lead up to that conversation, what conversations would be following the events that have transpired in the last session, if any, between your group?
I don't know anything about this Bright Queen of Rossona. This place is Persephone's area of expertise, after all. But can we trust her to help us?
The task hand had said that he was intending to tell the Bright Queen everything that has occurred. Most like to say she won't be looking on us too favorably, seeing as all that's transpired with the Arbor Exemplar.
Are you in their trees?
I think they wouldn't look too kindly upon us collaborating with a Naviask if the task hand's hesitancy is any reflection of what we can expect to find in Rossona. Most likely look use of collaborating with demons for some evil end. Doesn't look too good on us, of course. And Eridanus would, I suppose, hold up Melora's hope.
Glistens towards the setting sun.
What do you think, Fenzira? You're the closest thing to a local of this land we have now.
That's funny. I agree that it would probably be very risky to rely on that because of previously mentioned grievances. If we end up getting in trouble, we will surely run out of time to,
Bring back Persephone, indeed. I suppose the direction of the setting sun is where we're headed, so Eridanus is gonna briefly look at that direction. So, on Karel is where our next chapter of our destiny seems to lie.
The question falls, how do we get there?
If you wish, I could recount to you the two methods you had at your disposal.
Peace.
See the orbs.
Yes, please. That
Oh,
would be
yes,
helpful.
please. Okay, sorry, I thought you were saying something, Zeradonis. Okay. Last session, you had two options available to you. You received a teleportation tablet from Eloisia, she took her own to the city, but she left your group with one, saying that you should come in and meet her masters, and perhaps delve deeper into the consortium to see what they could offer in assistance to your group. Alternatively, Naviesk said that, though it would be a little less directed, more random, he would be willing to take you to Rosohna through means of natural travel. Portals through trees and whatnot.
Hmm.
For the sake of it, I'll say that Eridanis would have had the teleportation tablet because it was on Persephone's court, so you guys looted Persephone, so
I forget which of us. I was trying to remember which of us actually took it, but for now,
I'll say it was you.
If I would have it.
Which of us took
Or
a
then that
picture
gets
of
her.
Mom?
Oh yeah.
That one's still on Persephone at the moment, unfortunately. But either way, you were saying Eridanis.
I think Eridanis in that case would take out the tablet. Just take a look at it, examining it. Would I be able to use an Arcana check to see if I could discern anything about any hits to the actual destination within
Make me an
Ank'Harel?
investigation check real quick.
Sounds good.
You reach for your bag and you start to put it down on the ground while you search through it. Pat around and you search through all your long forgotten meals that you've stored in the past, old containers, and fine alcoholic bottles that you've saved through your journeys. But strangely, you don't see a tablet. You do see a little something at the bottom of your bag, though, that seems interesting. Looks like a small tear.
Eridanis is going to, I guess, coax the tear, take a look at it.
Seems like natural wear, perhaps from your journey or from one of your fights recently. Seems like
Let's get a
maybe
new bag.
something slipped out.
Hope my value didn't fall out of here. Gotta reach in and, I guess, wiggle a finger through the cracks, see what happens.
Perhaps we can
goes
get
right
you a
through.
new bag in Ank'Harel when we get Persephone a new body.
It does seem completely absent of a teleportation tablet, however. As if it slipped out.
Eridanis is going to look at the rip in his bag for a brief moment before saying, It is the most curious thing sometimes how smallest of things going missing can cause such calamities, for want of a nail, some might say. I don't have the tablets. Eridanis is going to hold up the bag, opening it up wide and showing them the hole.
This is
It's
one of
just a
those
hole.
moments where I wish that I had prepared that spell today.
Karma, Kanzira. You can, if you'd like, you could make a history check to see if you can recall potentially if or when that could have happened in your recent days. Two recent fights have happened that you can really recall that this might have occurred in. One was in the tree, but you had more time to prepare then and didn't have to really toss your satchel, so that was... Because usually you'll take your satchels off before a big fight. For that one, you got to lay them at the entrance first. The most recent ambush, however, you remember and recall a lot of sharp, jagged stones and them having to be tossed around quite a bit. Perhaps in the aftermath of that fight, the tablet got left behind.
We could always double back and see if you left it.
It's getting late. How far away are we from the crash site? Oh my god. No. Oh, no.
hours away at this point from the crash site. However, you know from anywhere you could call Naviesk.
We did leave those 3 wounded attackers at the crash site.
Yeah.
Perhaps they could help us look.
Perhaps.
Or perhaps they took it for themselves if they found it. What makes you think they're gonna give it to us?
And out of the kindness of their hearts,
Oh, yeah.
they've been bested twice already. Surely they wouldn't try anything else.
Surely us beating them twice wouldn't garner any sort of resentment or the like. Aridana says as he examines Six Knives' boots, which he stole,
and Jabby the Second, don't
and
forget.
his armor.
Oh, God. It's up to you if you want to try it, but you know.
Ugh,
We do have
I miss
otherwise.
taking.
Yeah.
I suppose this means there's no time to catch a boat.
No.
Certainly not. Although Naviask had said there was some other means of reaching Ank'Harel.
Some teleportation through the vegetation.
One hopes. Although looking at Ank'Harel, I don't imagine there is much vegetation. Still, could be worth a try.
I don't know much about Ank'Harel, besides what's written here on this map.
Look over there at the map, though. Do you see? I always see these tiny little dunes. I'd imagine that must mean sand.
There are plenty of trees over here.
It is quite far, though. You'd have to cross the entire Marquesian deserts.
How large could it be?
Looks pretty
These maps
large.
aren't to scale.
I will say, specifically Fenzira, if you want to make a history check, you may.
Okay.
On the topic of Marquette.
Two clueless dudes trying to read a map off Exandria.
Oh my god,
no.
it rolled off a 13 onto a 1.
You're all fairly clueless in the ideas of Marquette.
Couldn't be more than a few days' walk, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, this just goes from general common sense. Why build a city out in the middle of the desert if there isn't a water hole, obviously? Water holes have some vegetation.
The coast.
Yeah.
I don't see what this little line has to do with anything. Seems a bit of a waste of ink, if you ask me.
It's separating the words, so you know how to pronounce it. All right, buddy.
Aridon's just very, very, very looking at this ruler like, what could this mean?
I shall try to contact our demonic patron once again.
Alright.
I hope he is as generous as he was in the past.
Well, suppose we might as well keep on heading south then. I'm just curious, would Eridanos have noticed Persephone taking... I don't think he would have noticed... Fenzira taking the tiny star fragments. Unless you have it...
Depends if that was happening while you were looting.
I think it happened while he was getting his own magical crystal item.
I think that's up to the two of you, because I could see it equally going both ways as far as subtlety was concerned. I don't think Fenzira was trying to hide it, but...
I wasn't trying to hide it, but I don't know how much he was paying attention. That's the thing.
Yeah, I somehow feel like Eridanos would have been paying attention.
Yeah, I suppose it's up to you then.
Either way, I suppose if there's something else, I would speak with Fenzira about this star fragment that she picked up. But as we're heading south.
Okay. Well, you would know that to contact Naviesk, it's as simple as an ask, so walking is unnecessary for the most part.
Ooh, nice.
So you can have your talk now as you're just pacing generally. Setting up camp and preparing a ritual to communicate with them, I guess.
I see you've taken your own piece from that fallen star.
Yes, you lost something and I found something, it seems.
Did it speak to you in any sort of way?
No, but there was another, little weird visagey thing of what I should do, so I did it, and it kind of became this, and showed a little stone that, glistens, blue.
Eridanos, you may make an Arcana check if you would like.
Makes me think it might be. Okay, let's see what Eridanos says.
You do have guidance.
I don't have guidance.
We have such
Like-
bad rolls today!
Would you like to add guidance to this roll?
I don't have guidance because I'm no
Oh,
longer active the toe.
Oh, yeah.
I also don't have the stone of
Well,
the evil stone anymore. Well, okay, Eridanos was gonna say to do
I
some kind of a
did it.
magic echo, but
I mean, you can just go off your own assumptions at this point. You just don't get any further information.
Yeah.
You can make
wonder
your
if it's like some kind of an magic echo of sorts. I do recall one of the higher ups back at Bazazan had said something about the Dunamantic magic here being more agitated or active.
Hmm.
You said you've seen multiple of these shadows at this point.
One in the tree and one at the meteor.
Hmm. Interesting. And it brought you to that shard. Interesting. Perhaps it might be a bit too much of a reach, but I do wonder if perhaps my benefactors might not be connected to whatever powers are guiding you, or whether it's something else entirely. Still, hints are being dropped for both of us, it would seem. Of course, we both seem to be being led towards the same sunken city as well, so there is that.
Very, very true. Well, we all are.
Perhaps that F in the trees wasn't entirely off the mark then. Ah, well. Nerd, I have a question.
Of course.
Would in this whole process of setting up a ritual, would we have enough time to take a tiny rest of any kind? Or is it relatively a straightforward kind of thing?
That's more or less up to your group. It's about as fast as you want it to be, the communication.
We can take some time.
How are we all feeling? Yeah, Fenzara, you're not looking too good, buddy.
Where you're at, you could take a short rest if you would like to.
If we're about to jump out of the Fortnite bus into an unknown desert.
Fortnite.
You guys get dropped right into the mouth of a giant sandworm.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, was I hearing the Dune soundtrack play? That one vocal track.
Either way, though.
Alright, we can take a short rest then.
If all are in favor, you may go ahead then in that case.
Oh. Brother. Roll the one.
Okay. Nice, some great dice. Great
Please.
dice.
It's just like, you will not get help. There we go.
I love my periaptive wound closure.
Oh my god. Hi Potato has infected me with the bad dice.
Oh, God. The old wound closing perept.
Yippee.
God.
You
I gotta make that little soundbite. All right, we got that. What do we have for food? Oh my god, we're in the trenches at this point. I have no food. I do have food, but it's of the
Rations.
you're eating
all rations.
rations?
Rations. We're definitely this is like the struggle food for Eridanis.
You're on the struggle bus now. You want a Zukal?
Ooh, that's fancy food.
Oh, what is the zoo called again?
That was the high
that's-
quality meal.
It's rice noodles, mushrooms. Hold on, I gotta read the rest of it. Giant spider legs, and when consumed, it restores 2 hit dice and 1d8 hit points.
I wouldn't be averse to that. If
Also have
what is Eric's eating?
Yuyandal, which is spice grilled yuyo served with rice, and it restores 1 hit dice and 1d6 hit points.
I'll take the Yuyando just because that's the lesser of the two. I appreciate it though. I would put you up higher on the relationship tick, but I feel like you're already maxed out.
So, Eric's, would you be enjoying the Razukal in that case?
I will just eat some regular food.
The Razukal rots another day.
Some regular overcooked fish.
No way. That's about to offer Eridanis rotten Razukal. He'd still eat it, but
It's getting older. You guys have had it.
It's
for a
not
few
rotten,
days.
it's rice.
Bruh,
It's
just
rice. It's good. It's just those
Spoiled, come on.
those spider legs aren't long for this world. Probably.
they're
ooh.
liquefying at this point.
You took a high quality, nicely prepped meal and you put it inside of a Ziploc bag and then threw it in your sack.
Everyone knows that block bags keep it good for at least a week.
I mean, yeah, no, of course, but
I gotta spend
I
an
feel
hour
definitely get to
reversing
that point.
time on it so it's edible.
With how much we've been blown up and incinerated, I feel like it's already also been microwaved several times.
At this point, honestly. As a reminder, just for everyone, you know how to look at the calendar, right?
Yes.
You have until the next full Ruidus moon to resurrect Persephone,
The
and
next
one
full
day has
Ruidus.
already passed.
Wait, the next full Ruidus moon? Let's see here.
Mm-hmm. The fifth day of the next
1
month.
week.
Oh, Fenzire. Oh, nice. Persephone dies on Fenzire's birthday.
The irony is palpable.
That's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I
It
know,
is.
That's
yeah.
amazing.
I was actually.
All right, well, we got to get
circumstanced.
Fenzira. We got to get Fenzira the best birthday gift.
You know what the best birthday gift would be? Reviving Persephone at the last minute.
No, not at the
Exactly.
last minute. Oh my god.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
Well, we didn't want to revive Persephone when it wasn't your birthday. Then that would have been a birthday.
Oh my
gift.
god.
Either
Look,
way,
we'll make it a belated. Not belated. We'll make it a. What's
belated. Uh-oh.
Preemptive.
Early birthday.
Early birthday.
early birthday gift? Yeah,
Okay.
belated's late.
Either way, if your group is ready, then Eric's, you may proceed with the ritual description. After your rest is concluded.
Eric's is basically taken Mistbreaker out of its scabbard once again and jabbed it point first into a patch of grass in this clearing that we've got our camp set up in.
Mm-hmm.
And around it, Eric's has scattered various trinkets and just plants that he's picked along their travels. And with a few magic words, Eric's is going to try to contact the Archfey demon Baelor.
You look at the sword as it's stabbed into the ground. You cast out this ritual through it and attempt to contact in whatever ways you can, pretty much improvising the whole process due to a lack of really understanding what you're specifically supposed to do. It takes a minute for anything to really show, and you think the ritual failed. However, you would notice eventually that plants start to sprout up around in this small grass patch around the sword, growing out of the cracks and crevices where the sword punctures the earth. Like a bleeding crack. You see the sword itself begin to glow a hot green, similar to that of the eyes of Naviesk. You know that there is currently a potent magic flowing through it, and you need only use it.
If I do this, there's no coming back to this place, I feel.
Not like
Once
we've
in
got a reason to
Uncorral,
stay.
we can't turn around.
Well, I think I'm ready.
It is dark. However, you look out once more towards the billowing wastes. Currently, you lie dead in the center of the barbed fields. An area I've never really gotten to describe to your group because it's never been important enough, and your group's always been traveling short distances or teleporting through the wastes. The ground itself is dry and cracked, torn asunder from years of warfare that are long in your current lives past. Things that even your great-grandparents might not have been alive to ever see. And thankfully so. This small patch of grass is an anomaly. Supernatural when compared to the rest of this land. In the distance you see rolling billows of fog and dust storms, crackling black arcane storms as well that seem to suffuse these dust storms. Fell magics and terrible evils that have been left behind. However, you also notice the strange beauty of it. Those massive barbs that give these lands their name. Like rib bones sticking up out of the ground from some fossilized massive beast, all just scattered completely through these plains. Pillars that reach into the sky as if trying to stab up at the gods themselves in the heavens. It's eerie, yes, and most certainly an evil remnant. However, it's also fascinating and, in a strange way, a beautiful sight that many will never get to see. You wonder in many years how this could look, how it could change. But perhaps you'll be long gone before that could happen. Only time will tell. Eric's. What do you do?
With no seed to the great tree, no doubt this place will wither before it blooms again. And I'll reach out and touch the sword. Naviask, I call you forth to take us to Uncorral.
Rubbing your fingers down the length of the blade, you feel its warmth and you whisper this message. And almost instinctually, you take the sword and you slash it outward. As you do, all of you see a magical green rift form where the blade's slash was left behind, as if taking scissors to cut the very fabric of reality like a piece of thin paper. You watch this rift as it starts to crackle outward and slowly grow larger, almost the size of a doorway, enough for you all to fit in. Faceless. You can check the other side of it, but you see nothing on the other end except for the same entrance. Float's waiting.
Look over my shoulder to make sure the other two have noticed what's going on. And if I see them packing their things up quickly in a hurry, then I'll step through.
Eric's is the first to step on through. What do the other two of you do?
All an ass. It looks fucking weird.
I'm following him in. Let's go. Yippee.
You all enter in. The door does not seem to shut behind you, of course. However, as you all rush in, you're met with a new atmosphere. Immediately, your feet land off of hard, sand-like, stone-ish texture of the wastelands onto what feels like a wooden floor. However, it's not planked, that much you know. It's more like a solid tree stump. You step in and you see this massive interior. Not colossal as the Arbor, of course, however, like the size of a small house. You seem to almost be in the interior of a tree, in a weird sense. Though it seems completely hollowed. You see bark covering the walls and the rings on the floor that would dictate how old this tree is. Potentially centuries of years, but how can you be sure when this is a magical plane? Around in some of the edges of this structure, you see small patches of grass and moss with little plants and beautiful vegetation growing out of them. And in the center, what looks like a larger grass or dirt patch, where you see a small tree beginning to grow. Just in its early sprouting phase, however, gently sitting there. In the one corner of the room, laying on a bed of flowers, you see a wrapped corpse. Familiar to you. Kept preserved and safe. And next to the corpse, currently, hands kind of cupped around the tree, gently tending to it, looking at its leaves and feeling its branches, you see this massive behemoth of war. Once more, never something that becomes any less abrupt when you see it, Navi-esque. See such a thing tending to something so frail. It's interesting. But that's what you see as you enter in. The Baylor looks up to your party and passes away from the tree, backing up from it, sits down.
We are ready.
Very well. This space is yours to use. I will be here if you ever need contact for any reason. However, I expect you to act autonomously of your own. That which I can trust you to do. From here, he kind of looks back at the wall behind him, rubbing his hand along it. We can open gateways to any place in the world that's not devoid of nature. Possibilities are endless. However, we know where you wish to go. Yes?
Our paths are our own, but we must make it to Ank'Harel if we are to save our friend.
He nods. You enter strange and foreign lands. To many of you, this is no new thing. However, Ank'Harel, Marquette, as they call it now. This place has stood eternal to the test of time. A beacon of life trying to shine through the cold nothingness of the desert. A jewel of hope, as they call it. However, in this jewel lies the ambitions of man. People who would wish to do harm for gold or power. You will meet many faces, and not all of them will be friendly. Let us hope you can navigate these streets well. Presses his hands to the wall, and you watch him take the bark, rip his fingers into it. These massive iron-clawed hands he rips downward. You see this gateway open again through the tearing bark. He peels away enough of it for you to fit through at least, though it's a bit of a squeeze. On the other end, you see what looks like an early morning sun, strangely. It's different from when you left, for sure. As if time moves differently on this other place. You see what looks like a grass garden. It looks like a man tending to it. But you can't make out specific details at the moment. Navi-esque steps back and says, "Your friend will be here. If you wish for them, You may always return. I will watch them until then.
Well, return we shall, unless we have the means to bring her back.
Thank you, Naviask. I'd like to think that I'm a great judge of character, and will keep us all safe in the desert.
He looks to you and says, your judgment of character will be proven yet. You trust. This is an admirable quality, but hopefully it is not your downfall. I will not say that you are welcome for this favor, for in the end, we work with one another to achieve both of our goals. Once you are in a better place, motioning to the corpse, we have more work to do. This much you know. He says, your time is limited. The portal will not stay open for long. Enter now, or forever hold your peace.
I'll step through.
Yeah, I'd like to not get stuck in here. As lovely as it is. Carefully walk around a little sad. Go through.
Mm-hmm. Eridanis?
He's following.
You all pass through the portal to another land. Let me go ahead and get the chapter art.
Get him!
In the meantime, there's a little graveyard down here. You know?
Yeah.
You guys made a grave for the basilisk, but you didn't make one for Persephone.
Oh my
That's
god.
because Persephone's gonna come back.
Persephone is
Do I
currently
get to
dead.
change my overlay? Let's go.
Persephone is a corpse.
Persephone's in a tree stump.
Exactly. The way there is quite a walk, meaning you have plenty of time.
Eridanus will keep an eye out for any interesting food items.
Without going to one of the major districts, that might be tricky.
Alright. No problem.
Let me find where that is, because you might be passing through one right now, actually. But you guys can go ahead and recount the general summary of your tales to Araz if you would like. Obviously, Keaton knows them, so...
Yeah.
I'll ask, is there any details that you two would want Eric's to not share?
I'm trying to think right now. Perhaps the whole business of Eridanus, of what Eridanus had learned about himself. Oh wait, no, I don't think Eric's was previous. Eric's wasn't that Persephone died.
Yeah,
but
well,
Eridanus
who
knows
knows?
now. Never mind, I have nothing to conceal.
Gonna quickly post some images of the city streets.
The only other person who knew is dead. Oh, well, I suppose I would ask about the spires.
Yes. Uraz, these spires would be very obvious to you when this figure asks you about them. You would know these spires to be the Cerulean Palace, the headquarters of Jaman Sa'ord, the leader of this city and its ruler.
Oh, the spires. That's the Cerulean Palace. The leader of Ank'Harrell stays there.
Fascinating. Now, were those spires... Were they built within the palace, or was the palace built around them? It looks strange. I guess I could ask Nerd.
Mhm.
Does it seem like they were crafted, or does it seem like they
That's
they're like some kind of a natural formation?
They're different in every image of Ank'Harrell. I would say the first image I sent for the chapter art would be the most accurate to how they look.
Okay.
They were a piece built on top of the tower. Uraz, if you would like, you can make either an Arcana or a History check to potentially discern their meaning.
Sure thing.
You would know that these do hold some light magical resonance to helping keep the weather nicer around the city and keep out most of the major sandstorms, as a matter of fact. Though, to a lot of people, these crystals act as simply a marker for the center of the city. It's the tallest structure there is in Ank'Harrell entirely, and this helps everyone know where it is. But that's their purpose.
They're mainly just used to mark the center of the city, but what most people don't know is they also keep out some of the bad sandstorms.
Interesting. Well,
so you all said that you were here to resurrect a friend? I come all the way to Ank'Harrell for that.
well, at the time at least, our options were rather limited. And, well, Eridanus would look over to Eric's and Fenzira.
It was either Ank'Harrell or try our luck with the Queen of Rossona.
Rossona?
The Queen of Rossona didn't seem like she would be too pleased with us.
All the way in... You were on the other end of the... Huh. Now that's a story.
Indeed. It is related to the matter of how we ended up traumatizing Mr. Najash's poor groundskeeper.
Hope you didn't scare him too badly.
Not too badly that 30 gold coins couldn't fix it.
I think 30 gold coins would go a long way to fixing anyone's disposition.
Money does talk in Ank'Harel, but doesn't affect everyone.
You would know you're only a short... To correct myself from earlier, you're actually a very short distance from the Temple of the Mentor. It's in the Gilded District.
Lol, Lemho.
Very near Najash's Manor, only a few minutes. Any wrap-ups would be done now.
I do hope that gold coins will at least go some distance to fixing our problem.
Depends what you find, I guess. But we're here. This is the Temple of the Mentor.
To describe this building, a lot to look up. Alright. This building was founded nearly 150 years ago. It seems to serve as the bastion of the Cobalt Souls organization here in Ank'Harel, and acts as a temple to Ayun the Knowing Mistress, and a massive library and conservatory of knowledge in the city. There are many books to be found, and all the information one could ever want. You see a ceramic mosaic of 3 open eyes that seem to be framed in cobalt blue crowns, the entrance of the temple itself. Here's a picture. Put it in art, not OOC. Let me go ahead and get the map.
Classic Illuminati pyramid.
I was going to say the 3 eyes.
That's the holy symbol of Ayun. You would know. Not quite the symbol of the Cobalt Soul, but of Ayun. A strange concept for Ank'Harel that you notice is that many of the doors seem to just simply be hanging open as well. Many buildings just don't have doors. An open policy.
Well, this is certainly a change from Baselzahn. I suppose an absence of demons prowling the streets, which is such a thing.
It does remind me of home a little bit.
You're not gonna have
Doors
to
wide
worry about
open,
demons
everyone
yet.
is welcoming.
I wouldn't say everyone, friend.
Indeed,
There are
it
some
seems.
dark corners around.
And there was at least one who was quite eager to slam the door in our faces. I guess pointing a thumb back to wherever Najash's Manor was.
Well, we were
It does sound
technically.
like you appeared just randomly in his house.
Yeah, I was gonna say we did accidentally trespass, so, I mean,
I'm sure if we had properly explained ourselves, he would have changed his tune.
I doubt that.
Come along now. We'll see if we can track down Question for you.
Heading into the temple, you see many of the braziers and torches, even though it's early in the morning, are still diligently well lit and maintained. Many folk seem to be prowling the library in the early days. As you enter in, Araz, you immediately recognize 2 figures. You are indeed a monk here at the Cobalt Soul. Unproven, but still working your way up the rung. And you would realize Monk Rumid currently seems to be tending the books, and in the far end, though you can't quite see her yet, Monk Evil. 2 of the librarians who are in charge of cataloging and making sure that people put books back in the right place, and people don't speak too loudly.
Monk evil?
Evil.
Is that like Cruella de Vil?
Evil.
God.
So, to the sides, it's 2 libraries, yeah, but is there like a quote-unquote front desk, I guess?
No, you would know that there's a stairway going down to the basement, which would be a more restricted section of the library, and then the upper floors, which would be where all the Cobalt Soul members actually actively do things around here.
Understandable. Is that an open policy for upstairs?
As long as you're with them.
Okay. Yeah. Well, best place to look would be upstairs. Just stay close by.
Staring at Aaron. Squint.
He's still just looking around,
Buddy,
a little bit enticed by all the books around here.
we can look at the
Follow
books
along.
later.
It's definitely a familiar-ish sight to the library you spawned in. But it's very calm and peaceful in here.
There are more books here than I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, we are collectors of knowledge. Be weird if our shelves weren't filled to the brim.
This must be twice as many books as there are in the ancient libraries of Rukva.
Ancient libraries when you come from, huh? I would love to see those someday.
Well, we can... Oh, I would like to peruse through here. Once our situation is less dire.
Alright. So now, Swamp, you head up the stairs. Everyone, go ahead and get into a nice pile.
Schizo Wrangler's trying to wrangle the schizo.
As
Come
you
on.
guys are walking upstairs, you get some waves from the monks down here, but no more than that for the moment. Oh no! Wrong button.
no!
I was trying to set things up and I accidentally clicked the wrong button.
Did,
Yes, we must get a lot
token.
of
Oh, boy.
Triton and
Yep.
question mark human and halfling.
Remove that question mark. Eridanus is human. We've established this.
Yeah, there's no question mark there. He just is weird.
Remove the human. Leave only the question mark.
That's more like it. If you're in a half something, are you really a party member?
It's your party name, the Half Somethings.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Alright, well, I don't have a token with vision as it seems, so...
Yeah, I'm. You shouldn't be on a map at all, even though you guys currently are.
I see.
I'm just
Ah,
I'm just setting up the real map. Just don't worry about it. I put you on the wrong floor. That's a whoopsie.
Whoopee! It says second floor, but you know.
Wonder what's on the third floor.
Maybe you'll find out if you're lucky.
Oh god.
Gee, nerd, I thought you had all the maps done.
I do. I'm moving tokens around because I thought you guys would. I didn't know if you guys would come later in the day or later in the night, so I had it for the night. All right. She's ready. Doot, doot. Fog of War, reset. It's gonna be a lot of this. It's a diligent thing entering a new place. As you enter in, you see many of the current members of the Cobalt Soul at tables, milling through papers or enjoying an early morning breakfast at the moment.
Uh-oh. SpaghettiOs.
Roz, you're the first to interrupt before the others follow behind. Shortly after, everyone looks to you and you hear some shouts and waves, but as soon as a new group of people come up with you, you would notice all eyes kind of shift towards you and this posse you bring in.
Apologies, everyone. Archivist question?
Questions? Oh, kind of slowly approaching. You all managed to get here. He looks back, or she looks back to Lan Shao and the others at the table and says, these are the ones who I spoke of, Expositor's arrests. This is the adventurers who entered into the Betrayer's Rise. Expositor kind of nods her head and says, If they would like to come in and state their business. Roz? What brings you
Oh,
all
yeah.
here? Expositor
well,
kind of sits up and walks over with a question.
For the most part, it sounded like they had questions for, but they seem to be trying to resurrect a friend of theirs.
Zaras looks over the question, kind of curiously. You were supposed to deliver a report to Jamil, yes? Question says, yes, I was actually just getting ready to go do that. She says, do you believe it would be pertinent that these figures follow you to help back up your testimonies? Question says, yes, indeed. It would help greatly, and we might even be able to help them with their endeavors. The expositor looks and says, very well. I could go inform the curators. However, if you have important business here, you should find your way upstairs to High Curator Jamil for more information. Try not to touch anything that's not yours while you're here, and don't shout, if you could. We have librarians and people reading downstairs. It'd be rude. Looks to all of you to see if there's an understanding.
Yep.
We will do our best, I say, as I glance over at him.
As for the figure, you recognize the expositor, Araz. Expositors are kind of pretty close to the highest roles. To many in the Cobalt Soul, they're seen as high-end archivists who go out on some of the more dangerous expeditions or jobs that require expert precision. They've been around some of the longest and have some of the most knowledge. There's many whispers through smaller, lower-ranking members of the Cobalt Soul that the expositors have a deeper, more hidden and potentially violent role in the organization. Though, you're not sure if those are more than rumors. The expositor says, fucking who's opening doors? I'm going to finish my meal and then make a report to the curators. If you would, go ahead and be on your way. The stairs are just to the side over here, and she kind of points. Past our table. Question? Question looks and says, yes. Make sure to ensure your report meets adequate accuracy. I hope you spent the night gathering all of your ledgers and books. Question says, of course. I have them all right here, and she holds up a stack of well-organized tomes. Very well. She heads back to take a seat. The other expositor kind of keeping his eye up at the table, but not saying much. Question says, hands outstretched. It's good to meet you all again. How did you arrive?
It's a rather long story.
Well,
It sounds like you don't really have the time.
of course. I'm sure you can explain it to me when we're with Jamil. You might love to hear it. Follow me. Looks to you and says, I guess you can come along too. Do you, Araz? Because they didn't say no
listen.
if you're interested.
I'd love to.
Could be a fun story. Carries on her way to the staircase, waiting for you all to arrive with her. Keeping a quick speed to her pace.
Like a
Right.
student
We've
running to
closed them.
class.
Your tokens,
Cobalt Soul from front to back.
get your
They
picture.
ain't going nowhere.
They got us surrounded.
Fuck, they're gonna kill us!
We've been flanked.
Execution.
We've been flanked.
I didn't have time to get counterspell.
What's Counterspell gonna do against our fist?
What's
Right.
the face gonna do against 28 armor class?
Cry!
Now you get to see Temple of the Mentor, second floor.
How is this the second floor if we went up a flight of stairs on the ground floor?
You went up 2 flights of stairs. There was the ground floor, the first floor, and the second floor.
Ah, the British methodology.
Yes. Anyways. Question continues along and says, Jamil is the High Curator here. He's been here for the longest. While you're there, he's nice, but try and remain professional, if you could. Keep our statements
Absolutely.
brief.
We've been nothing but.
Answer as many questions as he asks. She enters in. Right this way.
Before we all go in, Eric's all just put a hand out and say,
If he asks about anything sensitive, remember you don't have to tell him everything.
Of course.
That to myself. I'm not getting angry right now.
Question says, are you all ready?
Yeah, I believe so.
Very well. She kind of turns and knocks on the door. Jamil, it's Question. I'm here for the meeting. You hear a voice say, in that case, please come in. Says, I've brought some friends of mine. Brow kind of raises as he looks to the door.
Ah, yes. Thank you.
He looks to you all as you clamber into the room. A lot more people than I expected for such a meeting. Here, you see him close a ledger that he has on the table and put it shut and says, do you all like tea?
I would love some.
Follow me. Take a seat in a nearby couch. It's not representative of the tea on the current table, but, you know, new drinks are brought in by a rosin Question sooner than later.
Oh god.
Everyone's kind of encouraged to take a seat. See Jamil kind of give you some room to squeeze in if you would like.
Sure.
Cobalt Soul.
Cups are all brought out,
Follow
and you all
inside.
have a nice calming drink. It's the gang war. It becomes a fight now. Jamil looks to you all, more looking over to the side at Question, and says, so, where can we begin? You folk. Who are you all? And how do you know Question? Our archivists.
I feel like I've spent all morning giving this introduction. But my name is Eric Stormrider of the Shattered Peaks. These are my companions, who I will allow to introduce themselves.
He says, 1 second. Shattered Peaks?
wait, what did I say?
You said Shattered
Teeth.
Peaks.
And then shattered teeth. Retcon.
Put some weed in that tea.
Oh, that's how we get those
Spiked it with
Some
spikes.
buzz for
drugs.
the tea. He says, the Shattered Teeth. Fascinating. It's been a very long time since I've heard about anything to do with that place. I've never heard of someone returning from that side of the world before. Not many, besides some key members of the Arashari. Some figures of past note.
Harrryyyson. I
Yes,
think you're mistaken. I never returned from anywhere. I live there. I'm a member of the Gaudrashari.
it's incredibly fascinating, but not to the point. We'll put a pin in that for now, but I do want to talk more to you about that later if you would have me. For now, though, we can carry on with introductions. If the rest of
Oh.
you are even half as interesting, then we're in for a good time.
I'm afraid my story, at least, is not so interesting as my friend Eric's. I am Eridonis of. Well, I suppose I'm a bit itinerant at the moment.
Amnesia?
He knows too much. We gotta kill him.
Have you forgotten your roots?
One could say such thing, although I suppose I could say Polyflora.
A very
Suppose of
nice
origin.
place.
Indeed.
We actually have a library near there. It's nothing
So I've
massive
heard.
like here, but it's a cozy place.
They keep it quite clean.
It's a nice museum. One of the better places to keep such a thing. In museums in that area of the world, you don't get a lot of bandits or criminals trying to disturb any of the artifacts there.
Hmm.
Peaceful. Though reports have stemmed recently of some chaos. But that's neither here nor there.
Might you know what kind of artifacts were being stored there? Anything in particular, or
He says, well, many things. Have you visited it before?
I got a small look. Unfortunately, I didn't have the time to explore it any further. Would have liked to, however. But perhaps as to the contents of the museum, another matter, which we can put a pin in for now.
Of course.
Oh no. We had some thefts there, as a matter of fact.
God.
I love that it shows you guys the dice. You never know what it is, but you know it's
Question mark
something.
The dice had question marks. It was question.
Either way. He looks and says, I suppose we'll have a lot to talk about later for all of you. How about you, looking to you, Finzara? What do you have to tell?
I am Finzira. I hail from Pheolin. Used to attend the Cerberus Assembly. The Solstice Academy.
I was about to ask.
Yes.
I was going to say, you come from Pheolin.
Mhm.
Many wines from there get exported here. I've had a few in my time. Some of the local bars serve them. But you don't look like you're from the Menagerie Coast. Well, at the very least, your attire seems very different. I was going to say it does remind me in small bits and pieces of that of Wildmount. Specifically the Dwendalian Empire.
Yeah.
But the Cerberus Assembly... You might happen to know us then. One of our biggest archives are actually located in Rexentrum, where the Cerberus Assembly is located. Though you might also know we haven't had the greatest relations with the Assembly in some of the more recent years.
Yep.
That is a part of what our organization stands for. But you do have my pity. Unless you had a good semester, then you have my congratulations.
Well, let's just say I needed to pursue extracurricular learning, more hands-on. School wasn't really giving me what I needed.
Make a deception check.
God.
He's looking at you with a smile.
Christ almighty. Holy crap.
Right?
Oh, God.
Extracurricular. I see. More to add to the agenda later. Hold on. Alright.
Mind blink to Eridonis. He's not to us.
1 second.
I was probably he knows too much. We gotta kill him.
They start climbing over the back of the couch.
I look very nervous.
Jamil says, "Well, Question, with introductions out of the way, how do you know these people?" Question says, yes. These were actually a group of adventurers, though they seem to be down one at the moment, who assisted me in my expedition at the Betrayer's Rise." Jamil says, if I remember correctly, you were escorted by a group of archivists and one of our expositors. Question says, "Yes, that's the case. However, from what I've been able to glean, they didn't quite make it." Jamil says, "I see. Do we have any of their reports, if you managed to survive miraculously, on what lied within?" Question says, "I've gathered and compiled all of their notes that we could find right here. This group actually aided me by leading an expedition into the Betrayer's Rise and coming out the other side victorious, though not without dragging out something curious with them." Jamil says, "Tell me more." She says, "On their way out, a massive demon seemed to rip through the streets. It made the town break out into chaos. But them and their group, along with the leader and task hand of the city, opted to go out on some sort of expedition. They even claimed they had potentially have found a way to seal whatever rift was inside this Betrayer's Rise." Jamil says, "Fascinating. I'll have to look over your notes in a little bit." Place them on the table. She does so. Well, first off, I'll ask, are any of you wearing the cloak of protection that was on one of the Cobalt Soul members' corpses?
It's in my bag.
Okay, it's on your bag, not on your person.
No.
He'll say, "In that case, tell me about your expeditions. What of this demon? What of the interior of the Betrayer's Rise? What do you know?"
With that, I think Eridanis is going to use his. Oh my god! I'm so stupid. I should have cast Detect Thoughts.
I mean, it's
There
componentless,
too.
right? You can do that now.
I can do it now. Hold on. There we go. Boom. Boom. Oh my god. I was telling myself, remember to cast it when we walk into the office. There we are. Well, I missed out on
I'm
a lot
sure
of
you
stuff.
won't notice.
Surely not.
I'm sure.
You attempt to read
Well,
into the
anyways.
thoughts of Jamil. Casting out your magic, you weave a silent and personal incantation in your mind. However, as you attempt to establish this link and connection, you aren't able to pierce
Oh no.
the mind itself.
Huh.
Jamil says, "If you would, with your explanation."
How early do you want us to begin?
Anyways.
Tell me everything about your ventures into the Betrayer's Rise.
I think Eridanis would like to telepathically reach out to Eric's
Mm-hmm.
and then Zyra and perhaps just offer, are we sure we wish to divulge everything that's been covered that we had seen down there?
I'll look between the curator and Question.
Well, I suppose we can trust Question, and if Question trusts you,
Mm-hmm. This is all information that would help us greatly in the end of the day to achieve our goals. I'm sorry. How aware of you of our organization? I assumed Question had told you. Question says, "I told them a lot about us and our mission in Bazazan. Maybe not the specifics." Jamil says, "Oh, very well. Then, to recover it, our organization seeks to root out corruption and evil within societies. Recently, we've been investigating Bazazan on interests of a special secret that we'll keep here to myself for now. More to talk to question about later. However, we have been for the people for the longest time, and the city has been in a bit of an uproar recently. Chaos is starting to stir, and we're looking to get a foot up early in, so that we can capitalize on the chaos, so to speak, and try and contain things. We've been working hand in hand with, well, the Hand of Ord, on trying to compile information for our investigations. And anything that you could divulge, I would greatly appreciate. If you feel the need to keep some secrets to yourself, that's also very understandable. If you would like, you could walk around for a bit, give us time to have a private meeting here to discuss some of the more specific topics, and get to know the place. If you feel like it would make you more comfortable with sharing anything.
You said your goal is to root out corruption. Why in
Yes.
Bazazan? Seems to me that they're quite well off with their leader, Varen Thalis. Very honorable man.
Make a persuasion check.
Oh my god,
God.
what is happening today?
It rolled
It's
so
bad.
much. It rolled so much. Do you
Kind of
want?
Taking a sip of his... What?
I was gonna say, do you want that to not be shit? So I can make that not shit. Hopefully, if you want to roll.
Question is, do you want that to not be shit?
Uh, I could put my hands behind my back and make sure that you don't fuck up. Fine. Fuck it. Here you go. Expended
I can light
resource.
the dynamite so we all explode.
Don't do that.
That'll be, I mean,
Roll your persuasion. Please. Please.
okay, I gotta start taking point more of these conversations.
Jamil looks to you and says, you're very observant. And that is a good point. However, as to what I can divulge, there has been links between something special in Bazazan that's been happening there. You might have noticed activities from members clad in red. A group that calls themselves the Consortium of the Vermilion Dream. Their business has been...
Their business has been to recover a shard of a red gemstone, known as, I believe it was called ruidium or something of that nature.
Takes his drink and puts it down a bit. Then you know more than I initially expected, and looks to question. Fascinating indeed. Yes, our group has been looking into this ruidium. Recently, we have heard through sources I will not divulge, happenstance that the consortium has been looking into and has named this substance. We seek to understand more about what they're getting themselves into before they cause trouble. They haven't committed any crimes as of yet, necessarily. However, we fear that whatever they're doing could be quite dangerous to many people in their lives.
Why not simply ask them? Aloysia was very forward about procuring our services before we turned her down.
Interesting. Well, then perhaps it's good you don't mention your relation to us if you ever speak with her again. This Aloysia. Question says, this was the, agent in the city. Jamil nods. The consortium is not too friendly towards us. They have refused to give us information, and for the better part of it, let's just say we aren't friends. We go against their line of work. I'm sure you understand. The Cobalt
Certainly.
Soul has never been a popular organization amongst those who do wrong. But there's an old adage that the guilty always check over their shoulder. Is it not true?
I'll look towards Eridanis.
Jamil looks over to Eridanis.
I'm hearing people, but you're cutting out. Why are you guys looking at me? I did nothing wrong.
I don't know. Have you checked over your shoulder recently?
Not particularly. He's going to smile. Take another sip of tea.
I'll turn back to the High Curator.
How familiar are you with the interior of the
Sorry, I gotta look at my notes. What's that place called? The
Betrayer's Rise?
What's that place called? That traumatized our party. He says, well, I suppose these notes would give me some inclination as to what my agents were doing there and what they might have seen. However, what I am aware of at the moment, without reading, is that the Betrayer's Rise has been a source of demonic incursions in the lands of Xhorhas for ages now, ever since the Calamity. It has stood longer than Drow civilization itself has seemed to stood, and they have always been at odds with it. Perhaps it is, in a large part, the reason that the Drow of Xhorhas and the Kryn dynasty haven't went to war with the Dwendalian Empire more often. Call it a cynical outlook, but perhaps there are balance to all things in the universe. Though I would not wish such a diabolical thing upon the people of those lands, of course. It has kept them quite tame.
Perhaps more balanced than you are aware.
Do tell.
We did our research before heading inside, and many people told us that the interior of the temple was constantly shifting. It was never the same pathway for any two parties that entered. Our pathway took the form of several rooms opening one after another, each themed after a different betrayer deity. In one room there was a statue of someone called the First Knight, a hand of the Lord of the Hells, servant of Asmodeus. In another room there was a ritual circle with an altar to a dragon goddess. A fifth room had I don't know how to best describe it, lit braziers with dancing flame creatures that attacked. And a great mural with all the betrayer deity symbols carved in glass. After passing through 9 or 10 such rooms, we came to one at the heart of the temple. This was not without any trials or bloodshed, but we understand that it was a temple to the Changebringer of Andra.
Fascinating. Was there any sight of ruidium in this temple?
None that we encountered, but another party, friends of ours who went in alongside us, did exit with some.
Fascinating. And of Aloysia, the consortium agent.
She was the one who hired our friendly party. A strange thing did occur, though. We encountered a draconic creature, a beast of some fell summoning, and it had this ruidious material growing in its veins.
Fascinating. Of this creature's actions, how did it seem? Were you aware of what this creature was like before this substance corrupted it?
Not at all.
It was acting how?
Erratic, angry, attacking all that moved.
Fascinating. Alright. This is good knowledge to have. And of Aloysia, you said she was friendly with your group. The Consortium themselves? What think you of them? What know you of them?
I think Fenzira here is on better terms. Or perhaps Eridanis.
I don't know, I'd say they're rather nice people. Willing to help with things.
Eridanis?
Not gonna say anything.
Still breathe. Jamil will say, yes, that they may seem, but I assure you, we have our reasons to suspect that their intentions are more dubious than such. Perhaps in time you'll see this for yourself. We will not hinder you if you decide to speak more with them. However, I will personally encourage you, if you would like, to work with us more in the future. If the Consortium is friendly with you, this could prove helpful to learning more about their operations peacefully, in opposed to trying to start any violent actions, which would not go well for either party.
You'd have us as spies then.
Perhaps. If there was information you would wish to gather and give, I would gladly take it. If you wish. I think you all good people. At the very least, you helped deal with the Betrayer's Rise, which is something plaguing a lot of the people in Jorhas, and I'm sure a dastardly thing. I don't know your reasons specifically, but I can't imagine that people wouldn't go in there, at the very least, with some heroic intention in mind. If you work with the Consortium, use your best interest, your best merits and knowledge. Think of what they're doing while you're around them. If at any point what they seem to do endangers the lives of others, I would encourage you to report it to us so that we can do something about it. You don't have to tell us everything, but we want to stop them from potentially hurting anybody. There are many issues currently brewing in the city. Have you read the weekly news?
I understand your goals are admirable, and I can't speak for the rest of my party. But I will not be able to help you. I have more pressing business to be about in this city, regarding the life of a dear friend.
Oh, yes. I believe we briefly touched on that, please, without any delay. Tell me of this.
After exiting the Betrayer's Rise, one of the demons we'd encountered, the great Baelor, broke free and tore through the city of Bazazon. It was called Vazarun, the Flame of Animosity.
Dreadful.
And it, being the only capable fighters standing, it fell to us to chase it down and defeat it.
You stand before me alive, though. Such acts in the past. Not that I doubt you, of course. It's taken lots more than 3 people to deal with such a thing.
That's where the missing person comes in.
This battle took 6. 2 remain in the Kryn dynasty, and 1 remains with us, but unable to speak her piece.
Fascinating. Okay. And what precautions of resurrection have you taken? What are the conditions that we should expect? We could help perform a simple revivification.
Don't know if
Might
that will.
take some more. As it stands now, our companion was badly burned. We need something a bit more powerful than a simple purification if we wish to bring her back.
I see.
We are also short on time. We have until the coming of the next full moon of Rutus, as it would seem.
Very well. Then you are on a deadline. But it does buy you a good few days. He looks back to his two cohorts. We ourselves cannot provide you the means of resurrection. Perhaps our compatriots at the Allegiance of Allsight might be able to offer knowledge into the intricacies of the city. They've been more ingrained into the city's politics and leaderships for a very long time now, and they know many people. There are other options and avenues to consider, like pursuing some of the local temples or asking around the local districts to see if you can find someone capable of performing such a feat, though such magics are very rare, as I'm sure you understand. That does not mean, however, there isn't someone here who can do it. I assure you there are many options to consider. However, some might cost more than others. It's not much, but the options I do know. There are a few temples. One is to Corellin the Archheart. The priest there would maybe be able to provide some assistance, as I know he is familiar with those types of magic. Besides that, the Temple of Sarenrae the Moonweaver would be able to also provide potential assistances. There are local rumors around the Suncut Bazaar of a miracle worker in the casino, of all places. But that seems like an irresponsible avenue to pursue. Either way, it looks to Araz. I have lots to speak of with Question. I'm sure she has much to tell me about your expeditions. I would hate to keep you all here much longer if we can't help you. I would opt to send Araz here. He's a courier through the city and knows many things about many of the local districts, a street view that some of us wouldn't be able to provide. He could help guide you through the streets to find someone to perform this resurrection. And once you complete it, we could speak more after you're done. If this would be suitable.
I suppose it couldn't hurt.
As I said, I'm greatly interested in talking more, and despite what you choose to do, I do recommend keeping your contact with the Consortium at a minimum for some time, though I would not be surprised if they reached out to you. Consider your options, and I wish you luck. And perhaps we can work more together in the future, once your nasty business is all tended to. He says, but no need to delay. If you need to get going now, now's the time.
As Araz tilts his head back to finish his tea, just, hi, Curator. If I'm to be escorting these three around, I assume somebody will be taking up my duties while I'm gone.
Of course, we can hire another courier to deliver some mail. There are many people who still work. You aren't the only deliverer after all.
Of course.
This is pressing business, however. We want to make sure these interesting fellows are able to get done with their tasks in a meaningful amount of time. Keep a close eye on them, he kind of whispers to you as they walk out, and any dealings they might have with the consortium of the Vermilion Dream. I know this is above your pay grade, but... yes. All I ask is you keep your eye open. Otherwise, help them. Downstairs, one of the monks that runs the library. Meet with them and they might be able to provide you a map of the city. To help these fellows of yours.
That's a lot of spears.
Jamil and his many spears.
For such a peaceful organization, they are quite heavily armed.
Right now, I'm like a parent watching my children, making sure they don't take anything.
As peaceful as the Cobalt Solar, not everyone around is. It'd be irresponsible to not keep armaments in case.
Many of them are also decorative pieces.
This one seems to be blunt. Decorative
Yes,
piece,
not
perhaps.
all real. Appears I'm to be escorting you around for the time being. If we head downstairs, we can grab a map in the library. After that, it's up to your discretion, I suppose. I'll just be leading you.
We've already got a map, if that's what you're after.
But we have a world map. We don't have a city map.
I'm sure if you squint very, very, very hard, you might be able to see a map of the city within that map of the world. But
No, it just... Eric's
I have
unfurls the
quite good
map.
eyes, but I don't know if that would do.
It just looks
Let's-
like a brown smudge of some sort.
let's go.
We
Get
would
a map
love
of the
a
city,
map.
shall we?
You pass through the different corridors and find your way downstairs once more.
Oh my god, Eric, are you okay?
Tweaking, Eric's is tweaking, Eric's is tweaking!
Mm.
They got him
We're
zoned.
walking down after the map conversation.
Mhm.
You keep quite interesting company.
Who did you say that?
You.
Oh. That idea, and I mean, we all kind of just elected as a group randomly, so.
I suppose the best groups are formed on a spur of the moment. Chance of fate.
True.
Some might say we were guided by certain signs, but that's neither here nor there.
I don't think fate had anything to do with it.
Bruh.
Indeed, it was simply mercenary work at the time.
A swimming competition and an angry shark.
Sounds like quite the meeting.
Are you okay, Eric? Did the tea cause some problems?
He's fucking zoinked up his tea. You head over to
Eric walking straight lines.
You head over to Monkeyville, and she stands up from the chair as you arrive and says, "Hello, Araz."
Evil. I have a mission from the High Curator. I'd like to procure a map of the city.
Eyebrows are kind of raised. She says, "You're going up in the world. Very well."
Nothing so exquisite.
Of course. You watch her take a book off of the shelf, and behind it you see a rolled up scroll parchment. She pulls it out and says, "This should be what you're looking for. Once you're done with it, I request you return it."
Of course. Thank you, Evil.
Of course.
Alright. Here you all are. Just, don't lose it, don't destroy it. It needs to be returned after all.
Yep, give that to me. Don't let anybody else touch that.
Oh,
Thank you.
what?
I know, I can be the responsible one here, don't worry.
I'm taking away your Many Nations of Wildmount map.
Says the one who got incinerated.
You're taking the hallway? Bruh.
The map is gone. You now have a new map to look at with your viewing pleasure. This being the Jewel of Hope. As you can now see.
At last.
This will take you to the world map.
Holy.
It's a much bigger city, isn't it?
What's this red shop right here?
Wouldn't you like to know, Weatherman?
Wait a minute. What? Oh, I see.
Red shop.
It's so tiny. What the hell are you?
Of course, we'll get to the red shop in time.
I'm more curious about what this patch of greenery here is.
Park, probably.
I see. Wow. The Guild Districts.
Mm-hmm.
Feel like we've already moved up in the world, boys.
I just
Yeah,
want to
honestly,
say,
if you came from your house, it's
I'm
much
curious why there's a
down.
cul-de-sac that leads nowhere over here.
what? Where?
Don't worry.
I feel like was
Nowhere? That was probably the
the
guy's
manor?
house. Yeah.
No, Josh, yeah.
Oh, no. This was not Najash. Najash's house would have been roughly... Oh, you're looking over there. No. Najash's house would have been like over here, unmarked at the moment, but I'll go ahead and mark it for you.
Fascinating.
In case you want to egg it later, you know?
You know, I don't really...
I'm gonna do a bit more than egg it.
This map key is interesting. I'm just going to, in one...
Holy moly.
Nerd one.
Najash.
So in will be any custom locations from now on.
Najesh 1.
I can just make actual markers, but either way, continue.
What were you saying earlier, Keen?
Hmm?
That was your ass.
A shitty joke about going down in the world.
Oh. Well, man.
Well.
I would like to visit the hot potato.
Uh-huh.
Huh?
The hot potato.
Fascinating
Oh.
question. Hold on.
It's not a hot potato.
Oh my god.
I would like
Oval
to visit-
potato.
If they point that
I would
out,
like to visit the water park.
you would know that that's you would know that the hot potato is hot potato is marked as G1. That would be actually on the local news. The Bowl of Judgment.
Bowl of judgment.
Into which we
Oh,
must
that's
put the hot potato.
An arena in the city.
Oh.
Now I'd really like to visit the hot potato.
Hey, what's up with this, like, 6 water slide here?
What is
Oh, that's the life dome.
that? Why couldn't he be ours to... Never mind. There's so many trees here. Oh my god.
Perhaps he really didn't like Najash for some reason. Or I suppose perhaps the gardener. Who knows? The workings of divine or demonic beings are a mystery at times.
Perhaps the gardener was a demonic being in disguise.
Oh, I suppose then in that case we might have to go back at some points.
What an accusation. Anyway.
I'm sure the gardener wouldn't take too kindly to hearing that. But the High Curator did make an excellent point. Would you all like to read the weekly news?
I suppose. Would always
I
be
keep
nice
a
to stay
copy on me at
informed.
all times.
Perhaps
Here you
there
are.
is a classified ads that mentions a free resurrection.
Nothing of the sort, friend. I've already read through it.
You can all take some time to read the weekly news.
I wonder what the astral signs say for today.
Take your time to read. I'm gonna turn my lamp on.
Alright, Aerodonus is immediately flipping over to the horoscope
God.
section.
You have the page with the Peanuts comic on it.
It's not... Oh,
Posted in the chat for anyone who's curious.
It's actually the pistachio comic.
I was gonna say for this. Alright, let's see. Where's this weekly news?
It's in the Foundry trap.
Ah,
What's the word?
all right. What's the word? What's the haps?
Donut! Sorry,
Wait.
he's invented
Wait.
the donut.
I have a nutty flavor. Okay. City attacks, not important. Arena spectacle.
Kurok has been getting wild with his recipes lately. I mean, no nuts for a dish called a donut. Seems strange.
Yanni returns after 4 years silence.
Druid is the moon of ill omen, to rise soon.
And the usual stalled urban construction projects amidst political backlash.
This is the man we have to find right here. James Cryon, the head of the Arcane Arts.
Leader of the All-Sight Guild. I do believe Prolix had said he was going to be somewhere here. Didn't he? Might be an inn. What is this? Citywide attacks. Excellent. Flipping over to the next page.
Ah!
Oh, look, there's the comic.
Oh my god.
Finally, some light-hearted laughs in all this dreary darkness.
Oh, come on, nerd. What's the comic?
Oh.
I'll get the comic. Hold on.
God. It's a witty and catching tale of fucking Sir Bartholomew the Wise, a street cat who has a taste for fine pasta-like cuisine and a hatred for a certain day of the week.
Why do they call it oven when you oven the cold food about hot eat the food?
Many adventures.
Poor Jonathan. To have such a cat. Anyhow. Well, there was also that talk about some miracle worker at a casino?
Jumping straight to the casino. What about the temples, my guy?
I am also looking at the map for the temple. I don't...
Uh-huh.
It's too much.
It's just fine.
Yeah, the temple's
If you want-
nerd mark the temple.
Okay, I'll tell you what temples there are. So, the temples in the
God.
city, you have the Halls of Argentum. The Halls of Argentum are a temple dedicated to Bahamut, the Platinum Dragon. I won't go into specifics about who leads them, you can figure that on your own. You have the Path of Prosperity, which is a usually unmanned temple to the Changebringer. It's said to be a place where many can go to seek guidance when they're about to undergo an important trial. Next is the Blessings Well, which isn't a specific temple dedicated to any one god, but instead a place where it's said that many can dip their heads into and receive some divine visions or blessings when they do so, though it's more rumor and speculation. Despite what you would imagine from many people daily taking baths in there for spiritual visions, you would know that it's actually quite clean, although you might not have ever been in there yourself. Besides that, there's the Celestial Terrace, which is more of a kind of park-like location dedicated to Sarenrae the Moonweaver. Their services don't tend to happen towards in the night, though, when the moon is out. And you know that they actually are having a pretty big service coming up soon, when Katha reaches its full stage. Besides that, there's, in the Gilded District where you are, the Crossings of Eventide, which is the temple dedicated to the Dusk Maven and the Matron of Ravens. More of a mortuary and a morgue, and if you want to take Persephone there, then you've probably signed your warrant for death at that point. Besides that, there's the Silver Star Halls, which are dedicated to Corellin, the Archheart, which is one of the temples you were suggested to potentially go to. Besides that, there is the Sunfire Forge, dedicated to Moradrin, the god of crafts. Gotta look up his name. Moradrin.
I wish you were pointing at them so I knew where they were.
I'm telling you the names, and then Keaton, you guys can say what temple you want to go to, and I'll take you there. This is going to be a learning process for all of us. I promise you. The map key is like a third-hand map key I had to find off of Reddit somewhere, so I'm learning this as we go along, honestly. For now, I can give you a list of names, and we can pick from them. But Mordrin, the Allhammer, but you would know that the Sunfire Forge is more of a blacksmith of legend, as a matter of fact, and the Forge Master who works there is renowned for crafting some of the most powerful weapons through history, and even crafting a special suit of armor for Jamon Salord on many occasions. Last but not least is the Temple of the Mentor, which is the place you were just at, and the Hall of the Cobalt Soul. I'll go ahead and type all of these.
Yes,
The only
please.
thing I remember is the Moradin Temple, because I heard craft powerful item and then it stuck into my brain.
You can speak in the meantime, but
Where should we go first? One of these temples ought to have someone who knows a thing or two about magic and resurrections.
There was that one, of course, that Jamil had mentioned.
The Allegiance of All Site headquarters. If their headquarters are anything like their agents in Basasan, they are sure to want more from us than we are to give them.
Oh, I suppose as long as it doesn't involve a life given in exchange, shouldn't be too low of a price. We've already
It's
got this far.
unlikely. It's unlikely you'll find what you're looking for without a little bit of give and take.
As is everything in this world. Oh well.
Perhaps we need not give services. I do have 4,000 gold coins.
Perhaps we might be able to hand over some other
Oh, fuck.
trinkets.
there's all the temples.
Oh my god.
Be a lot of maps, gang.
Well.
Want to know any specific things about them? Feel free to ask.
Well, the disappointment does lie ahead of us. Might be best to get it over with quickly. We could drop by the temple, see what they have to say. If their demands prove too much for our tastes, well, there are always other leads.
Where'd your group like to go?
I guess, barring any other objections.
Mm-hmm.
Any objections? No?
Nope.
All right then.
Sounds like
I
unlikely.
think we might find some success stomping by the path of prosperity in the Star Silver Halls.
The Changebringer.
And the Archart. We know the two of them are associated with this Jewel of Three Prayers. It's their quest, their vision, which drove us to Betrayer's Rise. Perhaps they'll do us a good turn.
Okay. I would like to ask, Nerd, could you please ping where these, I guess, where the Path of Prosperity, the Star Silver Halls, and the, the Illusions of All Site headquarters would be,
Of course.
just so we
it
get
will
a vague
take
sense
me
of where to
one-
go. Where to
it'll
go,
take me
yeah.
a second, but yes.
I figured we probably just want to go in some way that lets us hit all three in some line.
Am
Oh my
I
God, I wanna-
crazy for thinking that the Moonweaver was the third related goddess?
I heard the Moonweaver get mentioned. Wait, let me look through my notes. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba, Yes, though the Changebringer and the Moonweaver were both depicted alongside one another in the barbed fields back in Betrayer's Rise.
Yes, the painting above the alcoves,
Yes.
marching to war.
Where'd you get the art chart from? That's what I'm trying to find.
I have a note here that mentioned the art chart. Hold on. So this is chapter session 23. This is when we went into the Temple of the Changebringer in the middle of Betrayer's Rise. We had a vision which mentioned that Elixian was once a soldier, having beseeched the Changebringer of Andra and the Archard Coralon for aid. And I have a blank spot here where there was something else that I forgot to write down.
I think that because there was a third god that he had invoked.
And then it went on to say he was abandoned and only wishes to be free.
Uh-huh. Oh, well. In the meanwhile, let's plot our course.
Yeah, a few of these locations I am now realizing weren't marked, so I'm going through the effort of remarking some of them.
How did I know you were thinking a circle?
God. Okay, we gotta bring Persephone back. Then we gotta kick ass at the arena. And then we gotta get these donuts. Hold on, let me see. Does it say
The
anything here about where-
donuts!
No, shh. Damn it. Okay, there's no mention of where we could find this. Wait, no, hold on. I got a local right here.
Glad you remembered.
This donuts concoction does sound rather interesting. Do you know where we might find this local baker?
Oh yeah, Karuk's is the local place we go to sometimes.
Uh,
I'm not sure if it's going to be on the way to where you want to go, but we can make a stop for it, I suppose. I imagine you're all hungry.
You asked for the Path of Prosperity,
yes.
the Star Silver Halls, and what else?
Yes. And the
Donut shop.
Legions of All Site headquarters.
Donut.
And donut.
Star Silver Halls.
Who's this? Oh, never mind.
That's mine.
Fuck. Okay. Copy you.
Have you tried this donuts, Oz?
No, not yet. It's new. I didn't hear about it till I read the paper this morning.
Hmm.
Okay. So, Path of Prosperity is over here. I'll do this to make it easier for you.
Holy moly.
Holy moly.
Never
The
mind.
Star Silver Halls would be located over here.
Hmm.
And the Allegiance of All Sight, which you, Araz, would know to be the Teres Schoolhouse. They work out of a schoolhouse. Is
Hey
located...
Fen, maybe you can finish college.
Shut the hell up.
would be located right over here. In the city.
Seven.
And where's the donut shop?
And Old
Yes,
Man
please.
Crook's Donut Shop would be
Right here, B1.
No.
not necessarily a home.
Right outside this really bad house.
Oh god, where the fuck is he?
Could you imagine if you were Jamon Sword and you wake up, smell fresh donuts in the morning?
Oh, that would be great.
Fucking, he opens a 7-Eleven inside his palace.
Where is Old Man Crook? Oh god.
I'm just saying, if I had a cerulean palace, there'd be like a donut shop right there.
Shit, Old Man Crook lives over here.
Of course, the Canadian would set up a Tim Hortons.
Okay, right next to the Life Dome. Good.
All right, noted. Oh god, how are we gonna do this?
What was N3?
That was the Star Silver Halls.
Let me make
Crooks is right next to the Star Silver Halls.
Let's do 3
If you wanna
city
point-
blocks
If you want
away.
to point any of the random locations that are
That's
marked on
right.
the map, you can ask about them.
Hold on, I gotta make these
Distance
notes
is
here.
equated by the funny letters.
This is a learning session, gang. So
I know, I'm just being in character, mentioning that it's
Oh,
not
no.
right next to it. It's 3.
like,
Okay, hold
we're
on. And two.
We're all
Does he have
struggling here.
wings? Papa.
we're all gonna be struggling today, but we'll get there.
And 3 is the Star Silver Hall.
hmm Here, I can mark them by. Oh god,
And
no, I should.
F2.
What I'll
F2,
do-
you said.
Type it in
Yeah.
the chat.
Here's what I'm gonna do after session: is I'm gonna try and mark each of these locations with a journal entry so that you can see what each of them are just by clicking them
nice.
later.
Oh yeah,
Awesome, thank you very much.
Yeah,
can-
it's
More
quite the
alert.
endeavor. Oh yes, oh yes.
Oh,
Don't
well.
worry, guys. We're gonna hit a random encounter with some fucking petty thieves, so it'll be okay.
All right. Well. Oh god. How? Where do we go first?
Isn't that? It's a very big city, so.
It is. It's freaking huge. It's like.
Oh
like-
yes. When I
It's 10 Basels.
yes,
One.
when I said you guys were halfway through the campaign, I meant by book you're halfway through the campaign. By my standards, you probably made it 1/4 of the way through. Get fucking ready.
I think the
There's a
first thing we
reason
should do
this has
is-
taken fucking 5 weeks to build this place, and I'm still not done.
we could technically go in a
Alright, well, let's
circle
go.
and go
Yeah, we could
up,
actually, starting from.
and then go around,
yeah.
and then
Oh my
come
God,
over
still-
this
Oh,
way,
Thomas
and
was
then
first- oh,
come
wait, we're going. Yeah, let's go.
back.
First
I'm in
thing to
agreement.
do is just to leave the Gilded District
Yes, let's just do that first.
and see where we get from there.
We got a loop that we can make.
Donut shop.
Donut shop.
Donut
Oh,
shop.
I'm
God,
just saying
I
it's
didn't
the
actually.
closest to. It's closest
We
to
can,
us.
yeah, we can go that way and then make our way
Okay.
all the way back around.
I need to go do some work over by Old Man Crook's shop because I did not have him. Oh,
You didn't have the
Okay, so
donut
we're gonna
man
go-
ready. You should have known.
no. Where
Hold on,
is
I gotta append this
it?
map.
Found it. Okay.
Mr. Donut.
Hold on,
well,
yeah, I've got some work to do.
We gotta
I
add a
mean,
donut. Hold on.
I'll be honest, I kind of just made these news articles random.
You don't have to put us on a map.
You don't get to
No, no, I do.
randomly introduce the donut. You should have known.
Look, it's easy, alright? I just have to do a little... Old man...
Oh, hot potato detour.
Well, we gotta follow the road. There's a wall here. I don't know if you noticed.
Huh?
No, I'm telling Eric, there's a
Okay.
wall.
I'll describe the wall here in a second.
Oh, that would be a problem for you. Oh, I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Old Man Crook is not a hostile creature.
Yet.
Yes. Just wait until I'm done with them. 50 donuts and 50 more donuts.
Imagine there's gonna be a lineup though.
Well, I'm guessing some people are gonna have to.
Did you not read the
I don't know,
section
get
that said
displaced.
amidst controversy? Okay.
Everyone's lining up to see if it has what flavor it has instead of a nutty one.
Boy.
This is gonna do for now. This is
They gotta go write about it in their newspaper articles
Why?
for next week.
Why is it called the donut?
this will not do.
You don't want to know.
The donut. Where is the middle?
Who knows?
Some critics believe that Crook is charging us extra for only half the amount of dough. By punching out the middle, he makes a fun, interesting shape, flirty and delicious. But some critics are still
Flirty?
wondering what it would be like if we had
Flirty.
the whole thing.
Maybe you should go join the news team.
Well, you can have the whole thing if you buy the little donut holes. They're extra.
All right, the
The
journey,
what?
the
Those
journey,
Donut
aren't
holes.
invented yet?
the journey for the donut.
What the hell is a donut
I
hole?
can
We call
see
those
into the
Timbits.
future donut
I was gonna
holes.
say no. We gotta call them crook bits.
A short journey. It does take you quite a while to travel this walk. It will be roughly 5 p.m. by the time you get there.
I just want you all to
It was
know.
11 a.m.
Persephone can wait.
I
It was
just want you
11
all to
a.m.
know
It
Araz
took us
has
so
the
many hours.
fucking game walking speed where he's just slightly slower than your walking speed.
Dude, it was 11:30 in the morning and now it's 5 p.m.
By the time, so walking through the city streets, you catch most of the normal sights that you've seen thus
God.
far. By the time you get around the river district, you see a massive gleaming dome in the distance, which seems to have multiple, almost full rivers of water flowing through the city into different kind of cysts, which seem to go throughout the city and bring water all throughout Ank'Harel, like some sort of massive controlled oasis. Araz, if you'd like to give information to them on the aqueduct or the river district and the life dome, you may.
I would love to. So the Life Dome is a bit of a supernatural thing. It's effectively an infinite pool of water. It does rescind and flood sometimes, but the city has made good use of this. Of when it floods, they store the water, and when it recedes, they use that stored water to continue pumping water throughout the rest of the city. So there's never really any dry spots in Ank'Harel.
Ingenious.
It's a fascinating thing, honestly. A work of nature.
How long has it been part of the city?
Oh, hundreds of years at least. Maybe longer.
No, the pings. Eventually.
I'm guessing, are the fields around? Are the fields around the river, these little rivers or deltas, just agricultural land, or? Okay.
Yes, there are many plants and plots that are being grown here. There are some agricultural locations, but for the most part, it's all kept very purposefully beautiful, like some massive park, essentially. You would know that the Bow of the Wild Mother, one of the temples to the Wild Mother, is actually on the other side of the river district from where you are, roughly over here. But to give you a quick picture of the river district, let me go ahead and find the picture of the Wild Mother's temple.
As we walk, Eridon's just doing that thing where he lets Araz get like a solid distance away from him, then he just sprints up, loses all of his stamina, and then just keeps going.
Here's the depiction of the Temple of the Wild Mother.
Oh yeah, I'm doing that thing where I've switched from run mode to walk mode and turned on my auto run. So Eric's just
Oh, yeah.
slowly trailing behind
This
further
is-
and further.
This is what the river district roughly looks like in many places. It's actually very reminiscent of
Oh my god.
a massive jungle built into the center of this city. It's kept very beautiful and well maintained by
Ooh.
many hands.
It's like a botanical garden.
It is. It's a very beautiful
Yeah.
sight of nature. You see multiple cacti and jungle plants all grown and cultivated in the same place.
Wow.
But man crook.
All this in the middle of the deserts. Truly a marvel.
Tiffany is dead.
Excuse me.
You don't say.
Getting all your tokens out.
I really tried my best with the donut. Nothing.
Just, God. All right.
Sorry, this perspective is throwing me off here. So on Corel, is it raised up on a plateau, or is it in a crater?
Okay. Before we get to Old Man Crooks, then, these are massive sand dunes and or mountains that seem to be surrounding the city in different places.
I see. Okay, so we're
But
Alright.
there is like the one sector known as the Ridge. Like the Gilded District seems to be raised up slightly, and the Ridge seems to almost dip downward, like kind of a pool into the city.
Mhm.
And Araz would know that that's a lot of where sources of crime seems to stem from. It's the main focus of
yes.
the main focus of the Hand of Ord, the guards of the city. But either way, Old Man Crook. As you arrive, you see the shop is bustling with activity this morning. As a line seemed piling out the door of various different faces seem to be lining up to try this new concoction.
Oh, that's hardly a line.
You see us.
Oh, wait a minute. Why is there? Oh, wait. This might not be a guard from Josh's place.
A lot of people are going to use the same tokens, so be ready.
All right.
Unless they have like special names, they probably are just normal run-of-the-mill folk. But you see a few of the figures kind of walking along and passing each other as you enter, and the line just moves up as you arrive. See a man walking out with a strange circular-shaped dessert in his hand as he walks out the door. Seems to be sprinkled with what looks like a powdered sugar as he takes a bite out of it. And just starts walking away while eating it. As you
Well,
keep-
feel free to get whatever you like. It's on me today.
I'll have-
Oh, I feel like it should be on one of us. After all, you are a guide here. The least we can
Oh,
do is
no,
provide
no,
you
it's fine.
some kind of a treats.
It's a business expense, really. I'll get recompensated.
Don't worry about this.
Oh.
Don't worry about Old Man Crook, too.
I think you all have been through a lot today. Just, it's on me.
Actually,
Well, I
we've only
suppose.
traveled around the city all day.
I suppose as we are waiting in line here, I don't think we entirely caught how it happens that you had fallen in with the Cobalt Soul.
I mean, there's nothing really to tell. Originally, I was from Amon, and I wanted to learn, really. I came across something ancient. I showed it to an archivist that was visiting my town. Next thing you know, I'm being brought out to Corel to study.
Ah, another scholar of sorts, then.
You could say that. I try my best.
Iman's a long way from here. Why not go to one of the closer temples?
Well, the archivist hailed from here, and they were going back. And it is one of the biggest Cobalt Soul repositories, the only one being one in Wildmount, which is still a long ways from Taldore. I preferred the boat. It was my free ticket, so I took it.
This ancient thing. Would it be prying too much if I was to ask what it was?
Yes, I'm afraid it would be.
Well, we all must keep certain things close to our hearts.
As I'm sure you all do.
I keep no secrets close to my heart.
Really?
Such things darken your outlook on life.
And if that's the case, do you mind if I ask what this jewel you were mumbling about while looking over the map was?
It's a jewel of 3 prayers. Parts of it we discovered in Betrayer's Rise, and another part in a hidden temple in Chagao, of all places.
Interesting. You know what it is, I suppose? Jewel of 3 pairs is hardly descriptive.
All we really know is it's the possession of a fallen warrior, one dedicated to 3 different gods, dating back to sometime during the Calamity.
It is ancient. It's probably best if you keep that to your chest.
But
Like
trust
I
me,
said, I keep no such secrets.
I would wish that you would.
Well, even if you don't, for the sake of your frustrated friend, maybe.
Because if you go around telling everybody about it, somebody's gonna want to take it from you. Trust me.
It's gotten us this far.
Mm-hmm. It'll get us into trouble if we keep just fucking flashing it around like a VIP card.
Man, Crook.
Oh my. Stars above the slides moving slowly.
Move out of the doorway for him. Let him out.
Do you think he makes each of these donuts by hand?
Perhaps he makes them individually.
See him, as he orders get taken in, now that you're closer, he seems to walk off, collect some materials, and craft each of them at a time. But you see him come out with a decently large batch of them right now and kind of lay them out on the table. This kind of circular shaped dessert or pastry that seems to be missing the middle. Besides that, I'm just quickly adjusting some of the prices here to make a proper shop. I accidentally just made a tart worth 4 gold. Hold on.
I mean,
Damn, good
it
tart.
could be a good one. Could be a really good one.
Could
I'm
be.
gonna go
Probably
in
not
there.
that good.
I'm gonna go in there. We're gonna see the donut marked as like a purple legendary artifact.
How
1,000
quickly
gold.
can you run out the temp character's pocket money?
Okay. Donuts, I'm warning you now, donuts are going to be modified later. But
Okay.
That's cute that you think you're a temp character.
don't worry about it for a bit. just don't worry about him for now. Either way, we get rid of Old Man Crook and we get New Man Crook. The shop line keeps moving, and eventually, just speed up time here a bit, the line comes to an end.
How long were we waiting? I'm curious.
Realistically, for him to cook them, probably no longer than like 10 minutes.
Nice.
Old Man Crook looks at you, not a very welcoming face, for a man who's selling baked goods. But either way,
What?
you don't worry about it. Quit opening his doors. You
Mage hand.
see the old man look over at you, this half orc or full orc actually, and say, "What business have you here? Are you here for the new donuts?"
Yes, we saw the
Awesome,
article in the paper.
Might as well all the fuss was about.
Wonderful, wonderful. It's my own special recipe I just invented the other day. I'd tell you it, but that would defeat the point of it being a secret. You'll have to try it for yourself, though, and see if it was worth all the hype. He lays out a tray before you. Take your pick. We have all sorts of flavors, and we can customize them to your liking.
Ooh. Eridanos is... It's a genuine smile upon his face now. Alright.
Crook seems
what do we
happy
have?
at your enthusiasm for baked goods. You can check him. He should be a shop, right?
I can't click on him. It
Well-
seems that he's not a shop. He lied to me.
Wait! Why is he not working? Oh,
Never should have gotten rid of the chest icon.
This man has made a donut shop. He's also about to have the first donut shop robbery in history.
The hell?
Hey, if we can't buy them, that means they're free.
Oh my god, don't.
It means they don't exist.
No, it means they're
Why
free.
is it not working? Fucking players that have a token on this scene.
The next week's news is about to be a picture of Eridanos
Oh, are you using the new
holding
one
his
there?
finger sideways.
Are you
Nope,
using the
I
other
am
one?
Not.
Okay.
I am
I
not.
was gonna help.
Alright, try it now.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Yay.
Cool, it works. I just had to click a button.
Wait a minute.
Persephone? That's not who that is.
Oh my
What?
god. Lemon? Lemon? Oh my
Shit,
god, hold on.
It's not working for a
Hold on,
Roz.
hold
Oh
on.
god. Okay, wait.
I'm buying. I don't even care
Persephone
what these
just
do.
spent gold post-mortem. Oh my god.
Hey, how do
What is
I
this?
Post-mortem.
how do I
Hey,
give a
sorry.
Roz specific perms? Fuck.
The name. You can...
No, I
Hold
gotta
on.
remember.
I might
There's-
have this. Release character. Save. Okay,
I've
cool.
taken Persephone's ability to see this away now.
I mean, you didn't need to. I figured
Alright.
it out.
May I purchase?
Did you?
Whatever
Can
my
you
heart
drag
desires.
the donut into a Roz's inventory, please?
Does it actually work? Can you see the shop now,
I can see the shop. Can I buy things from it?
Persephone?
Yeah,
Roz?
I just changed my user configuration to be selected on a Roz.
Oh, you can just buy it then if that's the case, if it works.
Well, I mean, I already bought one on Persephone. That's why I'm telling you to move the donut.
Damn it. Okay.
Oh,
Oh god.
There you go.
Orc Warch.
lemon tarts.
Don't worry about that. Shit. A little seemed to slip through the cracks there. Don't worry about it. He's not
I
an
also
orc.
purchased. I also purchased 3 lemon tarts. I don't think they.
Mm-hmm. Some specialty
I don't think
desserts.
they transferred over.
Oh? Prick?
Oh yeah, the lemon ones are gone from his inventory, but they're not.
Hey. Well, you have them. The misfit tuber squares or mist fuzz.
You
Wait,
tuber
where
took
are they?
all of
Oh, now
them?
they. Oh, they.
Sir!
Wait, there's only
You
what?
got 6 donuts.
Oh, sure though.
Let me know what you all spend when you're done. I'll cover it.
You took all the squares? Stop taking everything!
Just buy them. Get your money up. Damn.
Get your money up, damn.
I'm not supposed to be spending money. The money that's being spent is supposed to be from them. Give me a donut. I'm getting out of here.
Comedy.
I mean, if
Okay,
you-
how
I
would
mean,
each of you
I'll
want
give you a
Old Man-
tuber square.
How would each of you like Old Man Crook to prepare the donut? And Araz, roll me a history
What
or
are the
insight
options?
check to
Sure.
understand the controversy behind Old Man Crook. The options. We have any kind of fruit jam that you might happen to like here. Of course, with whatever's in my inventory. We could also put any savory elements on it. Some sugar, syrups, chocolate. Kind of egg frosting.
I was gonna look to everyone else. Would it be possible to get perhaps an assortment then?
I suppose I could make a box. It would take me a few minutes.
I suppose we
Alright.
could spare a few
I
minutes.
edited my gold count.
Of course. Then I shall work. You watch him head to his station and begin to finally craft some donuts. In the meantime, the ones you do have, you try out. Despite the controversy, they are not a nutty flavor. As an insight check, Eraz,
Mm-hmm.
you would know the controversy surrounding Old Man Crook is that many of the local rumor mongers seem to believe that Old Man Crook is secretly. Need
An
to
orc
quickly
war chief.
fact check this. What the hell? Oh, I see.
He's putting microplastics in the donuts.
Uh, do. Yes, people suspect that he is a high-ranking member of the Veil, but no one has been able to verify this superstition.
Noted.
You see him walk back with a tray of baked goods, still steaming hot. He lays them out on the table, next to his poker chips, random assorted coins, and alcohol flask that I can see the map maker put on this table. He finds a wooden box and kind of puts them inside and says, here. This should do. It has a variety of flavors for you to explore.
How much do we owe you?
For the whole box? Let's see. Calculator
19 gold and 8 silver.
times 8. Just,
Oh, yeah, 8.
2.5 times, it's 12 donuts, so it's a dozen, I think. That's usually how they sell them, I believe.
Oh.
We'll just say for now he sells 8 of them. That's a reasonable amount of donuts for you to buy. 20 gold.
Jeez, highway robbery.
They're the new hot
to be
shit,
fair.
bro.
It is the new
I put some
thing.
extra donuts into his inventory. He has 8 donuts in there now. You could just buy all of them. You know what, actually? Whoever buys it, I'll just add a donut assortment to their inventory.
I'll get it, because I said
Okay.
I wouldn't
I have-
bet.
But you
Oh,
buy
okay.
it. Who takes the assortment? Eridonis?
Yeah, it says
Bigger
assortment.
Adonis.
Alright. Eridonis, you can add a customized inventory assortment of donuts.
I'm just paying. Okay,
Oh
This will
my
be a
god,
specialty.
we gotta hit
This will be a
every single...
specialty
if this,
meal
if,
later. It'll have a fun effect, but we'll see at that later point.
485.
if this is on Araz's
Okay.
credit card, we gotta go everywhere.
Oh my god.
No. To the
That's
casino!
The food was on my
Araz is gonna
budget.
come back with all the bills.
Seems these donuts are not as popular as the news would have us believe.
Well, they did say negative reviews, perhaps word travels fast. But for now,
I think it's simply
Karadar's
just
gonna hold up one donut.
on dinner time, so not everybody's going to be trying to get a sweet treat at dinner time.
One would think that the dinner rush would be driving people from their workplaces to come and try something new.
I mean, it's not a bad turnout for someone suspected to be part of the Veil.
Excuse me.
No.
That's
Get him
fair.
back here. I got it.
What the the huh?
Well, we could try. The veil, you say?
Oh, yes. Just another faction within the city. Not great rumors.
Why do you got the comment?
It's just a commoner over there.
She's eating a donut over by the water.
Eating a donut.
Shall we try these donuts and carry on to the temples?
Indeed, we shall.
Okay.
Well, let's be on our way.
Thing you liked. You see up to the north what seems to be an assortment of guards currently investigating a fallen tree on one of the paths while eating donuts now.
Oh my
The cops
god, this
are
is
eating
where it all
donuts.
began.
Let's go!
This is where it all began.
This is where it all began.
Immediately overtakes the Jewel of Hope. Right.
As you arrive at the next district, time moves. Is there any conversations you'd like to have about your donut enjoying pleasures on your way there?
I'm guessing it doesn't taste like a donut.
It tastes like a donut. You've all had donuts before, I hope. Some were fritters, I would say, as those were options. But you have a whole assortment of different flavors and tastes to try. Some special to Ank'Harel. As a matter of fact, one of the things you would have noticed is Mist Fuzz is a special root vegetable which has a citrus-like taste, which are the tuber squares that you bought, which seem to have been baked into a dessert. There is a Mist Fuzz, like, kind of glaze or icing put onto one of the donuts that has a nice, like, lemony, kind of lemon-lime mixture taste to it.
Lemon tart.
That goes incredibly hard. I am so glad. Eridanos would be over the moon.
Oh, yeah. And then another which
He's about to
seems
lose
to
all of
have
his buddy.
another which seems to have like a coconut shavings put on top of it with kind of like a sugar icing is made, so it's like a bit of a frosting texture on top of it, and has a delightfully refreshing coconut taste. But otherwise, you'll arrive at the Temple of the Silver Star Halls. There we go. Let me go ahead and get the map quickly set up. Boom. This one actually might be the fastest. All I have to do is just put your tokens down.
Oh, no getting attacked by thieves trying to steal our donuts?
No,
What
you know,
changed?
I actually prepared the temple maps because those are the ones I expected to be.
Say it got me a glazed
That's
donut.
D&D.
Alright,
I gotta turn off Eridanos' blinding light of God.
Isn't that blinding? I set the color intensity down to the minimum.
Oh no, it's good. It's just a little. I don't imagine you walk around with your light on 24/7. Is all.
The sun
Like
is a
walks
deadly
around with the
laser.
sun.
I put Persephone's token on the map again. I'm just gonna leave that there for a second. There. Welcome
Never
to the
truly
Silver
gone.
Star
She
Halls.
keeps appearing.
Ah, she's haunting me. Ah,
Killer.
nah.
As you arrive, you see what looks to be
Oh my
a
goodness.
kind of beautiful, silvery, flowy, almost ethereal light that stretches out across the streets into the nearby buildings, welcoming you within.
Oh, here we are.
Yeah, this is the place. Should be a start for you all, at least.
As you enter in, you can see that the Temple Master, who you, Araz, would know to be named Alwyn, an elvish man, seems to be currently preoccupied with what looks to be a group of adventurers or another 3 group of fellows who seem to be talking to him at the moment. Alwyn looks over her shoulder, and the one at the front, which seems to be kind of fiery Aasimar almost, a very rare race to see anywhere, for a matter of fact, seems to have almost like christening veins of magma flowing throughout her skin, and what looks like a pair of like loosely red glowing wraps across her arms, which seem to be almost like mummy wraps going up the entire way. She speaks to Alwyn and says, "So, that's what the Guider of Fates has to say for us, then." She looks back towards one of the elvish companions with her and says, "Fine then. We'll deal with this. Someone has to." And they'll kind of turn around and say, "Let's not interrupt the fine man's business any longer. Come on." And you watch this small posse kind of move out.
If anyone could restore a fallen elf to their health, I suppose a temple of an elven god is not a bad place to start.
As you walk up to the Temple Master, Alwyn says, "Hello, welcome. How can I help you all?"
Greetings, Master of the Star Silver Halls.
It is Alwyn. A pleasure to meet you all.
Likewise. We come with a tall request.
Oh, A lot of those today, it seems. Go on. You're all listening.
I'm not exactly sure how to best broach this, but are you capable of returning a soul to a body?
An interesting question indeed. Might I ask how you found me to ask such a question?
Our guide to the city, Araz.
They wish to
Alright.
see one of the temples.
I see. Well, if it's a resurrection you seek, I can indeed bond a soul back to a body. Though, it depends on the severity. Was it a recently deceased? Have they been maintained? What am I working with?
Perhaps you'd like to see for yourself.
You don't seem like you have a body with you. Shall I get ready to walk?
Perhaps you should just brace yourself for something that not many would be used to.
Ah, well, I'm sure I've seen it all. Do need to check if that ability can be... Portal... Can't be used again until you finish a long rest.
God.
Man's gonna go around and show my flayed corpse to everyone he meets.
Perhaps that
Yeah.
won't be necessary, Eric. Our companion was very badly burned.
Ah. How bad?
Horribly disfigured and flayed.
Ooh.
By an explosion caused by a Baylor in its death
Oh.
throes.
Can't say I've heard of that before, but explosions, that sounds brutal. Are all the limbs intact? Is the body fried beyond measure at the moment, as if bringing them back would kill them again?
I don't
One-
believe so.
Hmm.
It's intact enough to retrieve their items.
Hmm.
And we did have the body preserved by another Baylor.
I see. Even a resurrection to that level of pain would still prove a massive risk. There are degrees of burns. How much of the body was affected? Was a certain limb scorched, or did they dip into fire for a few seconds?
I'm afraid it was the entire body,
Oh dear.
from what we had seen.
How long were they exposed to open flame?
Only a few seconds.
How
I've
intense?
considered those few seconds as having been exposed to the heat of the sun, let's say.
Corellin, that sounds like a conundrum.
There was one indeed.
I could resurrect them, but it would be pointless to resurrect them without taking the proper precautions to repair their body first. It would be cruel and unusual as well. I can perform a spell to repair their body. However, that proves tricky at the moment.
What would you need from us?
There are some special components I require. A very unique herb that can only be found in the deepest jungles of Marquette. However, usually I get it delivered to me from a local stop over by the... Oh dear. Yes, it should be a shop run by a Kinku named Pick over in the Suncut Bazaar. Usually that's where I pick up my order from. A strange fellow, I assure you. But the strangest people have the most interesting goods. That's what I've learned. If you can get those for me and bring them back, then I assure you I'd be able to perform the ritual. It would cost you a good amount, though, to buy them, but tell them I sent you and you should get a discount. I've done them favors in the past.
Well, this has been A breath of fresh air. Thank you.
Yes, I hope to see you all again soon. And may Corellin guide you.
I think he already is.
I'll tap my amulet.
Interesting.
God damn it!
And Zara, he's already bragged about it to an entire bar full of various creatures and monsters. I don't think we can stop him now.
This is exactly what Persephone took it away in the first place.
It really is.
Neither of us has the heart to take it away.
And spewed my secrets in front of an entire group of people that I didn't tell on purpose.
You
You didn't say anything, so how was I supposed to know?
How are you supposed to know? Me, in confidence, on a boat, telling you something that I was very nervous to tell you for several weeks.
If you were straightforward... Listen, this is a little autistic.
So am I.
At last we hear it.
Anyways, to press on, gang. Where would your group like to go next? Louise, gang.
Would you like
I
to
can't
stick
believe
around your
Adonis
intended
is the
path,
queen.
or do you want to go to the Sun Cup Bazaar right now?
Where's that?
Well, it would take us. in the
Oh,
vicinity
yeah,
of
we're
our original
headed
path.
in that general
It'll
direction.
take us about 20 hours to get over there.
I
City of
must
White
ask,
Lodge.
would it even be open by the time we get there?
I don't see why I wouldn't. I mean... I suppose I don't know the exact working operations of that place, but it is getting rather late. So, worst case, you rent an inn and go in the morning.
Excellent. Is there one nearby that we might be able to find?
Yeah,
Right.
there's one right in the heart of the bazaar, the first eclipse.
Excellent. And I suppose we're off. Well, I must say, so far, I think I'm quite liking on Corel.
It is quite a lovely place.
The smells take a while to get used to.
I love how that's what you're worried about.
Say as well, this was the Temple of the Wild Mother, which I misrepresented before.
Bruh.
But either way, so your group would want to make a straight cut for the Sun Cup Bazaar, or would you like to continue along your intended path from before? Just ignoring the path of prosperity, I guess.
I mean, you might as well stop at the other temples on the way, right? Because they might actually have supplies.
Oh god. I mean, yep.
I mean, if we're trying to save our friend in the fastest time possible.
Oh, of course, fastest time possible.
Nerd.
Alright. So if someone could erase the current pathway and draft out a new one for me so we can get an idea of where we're going, that'd
God.
be nice.
A new pathway. You want to hit up
in the
this
meantime-
one that's closest to us, or are we just going straight there? You tell me.
I'd figure out where the other temples are.
If there's any like between here and the Sun Cup Bazaar where we're heading.
Okay. There would be...
There's this one.
Okay, the other temples would be the Temple of the Wild Mother, and... hold on, actually. This one might be interesting. And see if it's written. Ah, here it is. Yep, up. Okay, no, that would be super far away. The halls of Argentum would be roughly in the Cerulean Palace if you cut through by there, like around here, outside the palace.
Okay, so let's see.
What do you think, Keaton? Want to come back as a Dragonborn?
Oh my
No,
god.
I'd rather stay dead.
Wow.
I would say,
okay.
as well, the Celestial Terrace would be around here, or actually,
The
sorry, around the
Celestial
circle,
Terrace?
around the circlet walk down here. Celestial Terrace is the Temple of the Moon.
Oh my god, you dragged the screen and it messed up my path!
Whoops.
Down at the circlet walk, you saying? Okay, I see it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yes.
God. Bro. I was making a little weaving path through the fucking
It doesn't have to be complicated. We'll be fine. Just make it a nice straight shot. We'll be making a new one anyways. Oops.
Oh, we gotta get around to places. Alright, broski. Oh, we're not going in there actually. I'll see.
Maybe we shouldn't go through the Cerulean Palace on our way to.
I mean, it is the shortest route.
Shut up.
Pass around the Cerulean Palace.
Ignore the bend in the road. I didn't realize where that was going into.
No, we're gonna go in there. We're gonna immediately turn back.
Oh my god. If we have time for it, we could then go.
I do find it rather fascinating. Oh, nice.
What do you mean if you have time for it? Isn't the love of your life lying
Bro,
dead in
I
a
don't
tree
know
stump right now?
Okay, I guess I'm never sleeping. I'm not getting a wink of sleep.
I mean, hey, we're down with it.
So you guys are going to... Okay, so you're going to go to the Temple of the Wild Mother, and then you're going to cut to the Halls of Argentum around here, and then you're going to hit up the...
The hot potato.
You're going to hit up the arena, the
I feel
Bowl
like the
of
hot
Judgment.
potato can wait.
Okay. You'll pass
We can
by
pass
the
by-
Bowl of
we can pass
Judgment,
by
just
it.
give it a nice look.
And take pictures.
And then you'll pass by G3, which is... Oh god, what is G3? Oh, the Ord Bastion. Okay, you probably wouldn't go there. That's the Hand of Ord's...
No, I was just making a quick path.
barracks, yes. G2, you'd be passing by, and this is more Araz's knowledge, the Indala Skyport, which would be where most of the airships of Ank'Rel are sourced from. And then you'd be hitting up the Suncut Bazaar, which is over here, and then heading to the Path of Prosperity, probably much later.
Yep.
Got it. Alright. The journey begins. On the first path,
The
to cut
greatest
things
tour of
quick.
all time.
Around the time
Holy
it starts
shit,
to
that took
become
2
dark...
hours.
It took us 5 hours to get to the donut shop. Hello?
You guys...
I think it was compounded, all the Cobalt Soul stuff. the
Persephone
mana-
is dead. You
That
guys,
is true.
you guys make it dead for good. You guys make it to the Bow of the Wild Mother. We don't have a map for this one, so we're just gonna use our imaginations for a bit. All right.
Wow.
As you arrive to this temple, are you simply there to ask if they have any necessary components for the spell?
Or if they can do a resurrection for
Mhm.
deeper without the components.
As you approach, the fantasy name generator. This one. The temple mistress, Ilaniel, would tell you that their temple could not perform such a resurrection. However, they would recommend the Temple of the Moonweaver, saying that they would have potentially such means of doing so. Right at hand.
And that is
Say
where.
we just came from there, but they didn't.
Oh,
have the
that was?
supplies.
Oh my god.
You were at the Silver Star Halls, which is not the Moonweaver. That's the art chart. Moonweaver is a separate temple. She would say, you could speak to the Moonmistress Volman to learn more.
Where's that one at?
It's around here.
Okay.
Actually,
Quite a
sorry,
few
that's
temples
around
in
here.
this
My
place.
bad. I messed it up again. That'd be in the circlet walk.
Well, we're going that way anyway. Keep here.
You carry
Those
on.
we'll visit.
What?
16 hours later.
It starts to become drastically dark at this point, and you're all starting to feel pretty tired. If you keep up walking, eventually you would make it... I could say you could just make it to the Suncut Bazaar, but it will be mucho late into the night by the time you get there.
Do they have any like inns or taverns near the arena?
Yeah.
So imagine
You
people
pass-
come to visit to watch the games, right?
Yes, you pass by the massive arena, and... Let me check, actually. It's a good question. There's a list of like taverns, so maybe.
Because call me crazy, but when people come to watch like a hockey game here, there's always a bunch of hotels around wherever the stadium is.
Okay. This is the Cerulean Palace. Ooh, it might not actually provide much. The nearest temple or inn would be in the Suncut Bazaar, and you would know it would be called the Golden Chip. There's also an inn located a little further north in the Sand Herald district, kind of back towards where you were. But that would be known as the Lap of the Gods, which is actually like a resort slash spa, and is incredibly expensive.
I mean, come on.
Nuh-uh.
Perhaps a journey for another time.
We could at least stop and look at their prices.
That is
God.
true.
Could do that, or we could worry about that later.
Okay, it's too rich for our blood. They have no donut shop nearby.
Might be too rich for your blood, but
I don't have a map set up for it yet.
Honestly,
Just
nothing is too rich for Eridanos' blood, but we gotta move on.
Assume a knight's up in the hundreds.
we could afford it.
We could.
Chump change.
Jump in for
Eventually,
What do I need
you!
you'll
gold
make
for?
it. Eventually, you'll make it to the Suncut Bazaar.
Oh my
Shucks,
god, it
man.
is
Bruh.
3 a.m. I think this is genuinely one of the latest we've been up.
You are violently tired by this point, and I need to put everyone in their beds in the Suncut Bazaar, so give me a second.
Does it really take that long to walk through the city? God damn.
Jeez.
Don't say
It's a
we never
massive-
did anything for you.
It's a massive city.
Holy shit, this is like...
I want to point out
Let me
where
check
we
how far it is to
came
walk
from.
to Toronto. Let's see, hold on.
Look,
I'm
okay, we
curious.
can
How long does it
back some time up here.
Here's how long would it take to walk from like one end of the city?
We'll back it by a few hours and say it's a little earlier, but it's still very late by the time you get there.
I'm gonna throw a guess out there and say it takes about 4 to 5 hours because I walked from like probably a third of the green line at one point because the train was down. That took me a good 2 hours.
True. I wonder. Okay, the equivalent would be like. Okay, we basically walked like what, like 3/4 of the way through the city.
Anyways, does Araz go home at some point, or is he sticking with us this whole time?
I was gonna ask you.
My job is to guide you, unfortunately.
I feel like you're off the clock after a certain hour, right?
Do you have other business to do, or
What
do you
was
have
that?
any other business that he's attending to? Flowers that need watering? I don't know.
Afraid
Pets?
not.
Do you have a sickly
Smaller birds?
grandmother sitting around somewhere at home?
Definitely don't have that.
No, like smaller birds feed or something.
Bird wife is sitting at home with dinner cooked and ready, but it's going cold because she waited for him for so long.
Bird wife.
Bird wife.
Are we
Okay.
fracturing your relationship with your bird wife over your late hours at work?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Yes. Eric, I'm just gonna leave your guys' lights on for a bit. Getting late into the night, so you guys might as well be a beacon through the city streets.
Yeah. I mean, personally, I'd be devastated if my spouse came back at like 4 a.m. I'd be like, where the hell
I do
were
have a
you?"
lantern that I'll never
I
need.
was working late. What do you mean you were working late? You were supposed to be home by 5.
I made it 12 o'clock.
You know, it was your daughter's piano recital, and you were supposed to be there at 7 p.m.
Oh my god.
As you arrived in the district.
I can't see anything. Oh, there we go. Okay.
No way we got domestic. Oh, we got domestic disturbances in Alcarel.
God.
New RP for a new era.
This is the
Oh
new.
Why
my
can't
God,
I
I'm glowing,
move?
but I'm
What?
glowing, but I don't see my token.
Okay.
Gosh.
Should I be able to open that door through the wall?
The fuck how?
I think you have to reset the fog of war.
There, I reset the fog over. Why are you able to open that? Huh? Oh my god,
I mean,
you're
why-
looking
I mean,
you're
why
looking through the
wouldn't you
window.
be
You're
able
looking
to-
you're looking through the window. Okay. I thought you could like see parts of the map that you shouldn't be able to. You're just using the fucking window. God.
Stop opening the
Can't
door.
see anything.
Yes, there should also
Sorry, I
be
can't see anything.
you'll also notice roofs. Those roofs don't go away until you walk into the buildings. Be warned.
Except for this.
Oh god.
No, this is not a room. This is a roof right now. What?
I can't seem
Erdonis?
to see anything.
Oh god, why? Hold
I'm
on.
blind. Oh wow, I'm responding.
How about this?
Oh, hello. Yes. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Oh, God.
Okay, Araz, you would know that this building right here is the First Eclipse Tavern, or Inn. This is the Lux Run Casino. This is a local blacksmith. This is Al-Zakaham's shop. And then this is where Pick and Garbanzo would be.
I can see our
Oh,
ADHD is
I see
taking
you
over to
guys.
see the whole map.
No, I just.
I can't see you guys.
Al-Zakam. It's Al-Zakam. It's Al-Zakam, okay.
Yeah, I'm going back.
Let me just restart my.
Alakazam.
No, Al-Zakam.
Took a long time, but first eclipse, right here.
My feet hurts.
It's a long walk if you're not used to it. I usually just fly everywhere.
I don't think I've walked this far since I walked upon the floor.
Where's there?
I don't know.
Good question.
Adonis?
I am
Oh, there you
trying
are.
to. I have to reconnect because I'm having some
Okay,
issues.
I'll put you in with your
seeing
friends.
Everybody else. Thank you, Dankeschön.
As you all walk into the First Eclipse, you see a blue dragonborn who's manning the front desk and what looks like some more rugged-looking elf currently chatting while the elf seems to be smoking some sort of pipe, cleaning up mugs and sweeping the nearby floors. You see some bags of trash nearby. They look at you all as you enter in with a confused glance, and the blue dragonborn steps up Sadzarak and says, "Can I help you all?"
4 rooms, please. Very tired.
Long night at the casino.
Nope. Just walking, mostly.
Oh my god! Holy shit,
Where did
Aerodon.
he go? Huh? What happened to him?
He teleported. Don't
It's the
worry
magic
about
of the
that.
stars. Don't question it, Araz.
Either way, Satsak says, "None of our rooms are occupied for the night, so you're free to go ahead and take a seat. If you want any refreshments, we can talk in the morning."
That is the best dressed server I've ever seen at an inn.
I've been to too many Hooters.
Too many.
Oh,
Bro, I'm
No way.
out of here. Oh, there's
Wait,
2
Pick a
beds
room,
in a
I'll
room.
charge you
I'll take
and...
care of the payment.
there's no way
Alright,
we're
then.
taking this. We're taking this salaryman Araz to a Hooters. The program's gonna be livid with this one.
Oh my god.
There's 2 beds in a room, so I guess we
The
only
elf
need
stands
2
up from the
rooms.
table and walks away as you come up.
Ooh.
Kind of
That
sits
has
in a
window.
nearby chair.
Oh, they both have windows.
Yeah, they do. Take your pick, bud.
So how much is this running us?
He says,
Just 2. No, they had
for-
multiple beds.
"For all of you to stay here, just go ahead and give me 1 gold and we'll call it even."
Sure thing.
Wonderful.
Here you are. Oh,
Thank
and
you.
also, can I ask your name?
Sadzarak.
Tatsurak. Oh, actually, I think I have something else for you. He just reaches into his bag. Oh, yeah, here it is. Here's the letter.
Kind of takes the letter from you, keeping
Supposed to run down on my deliveries today.
confused,
Something
keeping eye
happened
contact with you.
today.
Kind of takes the letter from you and just kind of, "For me, huh? Who's the
Mhm.
deliverer?"
Well, use a bit of discretion with that, but
Takes the letter, opens it up, reads it over in a glance, closes it, says, "I understand. Enjoy your night."
you too. I suppose we'll be bunking then.
Seems someone left their notebook here.
I got a
bag.
schizo wrangle.
Unfortunate.
Fuck, don't worry about the random assortment of goods. Assume those are your loots that you guys left in your room.
If it's bothering you, you can probably return it to the front desk. I'll figure it out.
Mm. Mm.
Yes, sir.
Seems someone left their notebook behind.
Ah. Well, kinda holds out his hand. I'll leave it here, and if someone notices it, they can take it back.
There you are.
Puts it onto the counter.
And Sarah, who disappears to be in waxing gibbous.
Yeah.
Oh my, as I do recall,
Seeing if I can break
See
down
him.
the room here.
counting on his
I'll
fingers.
join you, actually.
Oh, well, as I do recall, it's your birthday soon, isn't it?
I didn't tell you that. It's just on the calendar.
You didn't tell us. Well, why is it there then? Why is it there for everyone to see?
It was written in the leaves.
Something else I learned. Well, here's hoping this time of foreboding won't also include the death of a certain friend. Well, I'd actually like to unfold my star map.
You take out this massive, kind of now, like, almost translucent, like, hologram of a star map that you actually had upgraded a while back. But you still don't
Yes.
understand the purpose of such transformation.
I guess I'll study it over. From what I recall,
Don't see through
at
it.
least when we spoke with the
Mhm.
with the creature with the gemstone, there was a
Vecna.
mention of the Vecna, yes, but I don't think everyone else would know that.
He said it. But
Yeah.
it still doesn't mean
There
much
was
to
mention of it. There was mention of the star map, actually. Oh yeah, being a map to the place where there was that attempt at ascension.
you. Yes. However, right now it just seems like not much of a map and more of a path. It's like you can see through it, but it doesn't really mean much to you at the moment. Fascinatingly
All right,
enough.
well, more to think upon this later. I see someone's casting Divine Sense. I need to sleep.
Of course. This late into the night, your group finds rest. For all of you. If you would like to go without disturbances, you may go ahead and take a long rest. Eric's Divine Sense, you pick up no ill traces.
No celestials.
None at all.
Y'all good over there?
He's
No,
prone
Fenzire's
laying on the
kicking
bed.
me.
Oh my god. Here, we'll both be prone because they're sleeping.
Mom! Syra keeps bullying me.
I've heard that one before. Wow. Sibling moment.
What do you know?
He gets up, goes right back where he was.
Well, I gotta pack it up. How good was my long rest? Very good.
Once you're all rested, you can go about your days as you please.
Atira,
Hmm.
it's a new day. Well, I suppose it was already a new day when we went to sleep, but it's later on in the new day. Get up.
Bleh. There's a fucking frazzled mess. I have to like brush it and put it back up. Bonk into the side of the door on the way out before closing. Coordination's not great in the morning.
As you're passing by, you get a quick glance of Araz preening before he notices you.
Good morning.
Good morning, friends.
Eric's is by the sink, splashing some water from the tap on his face.
I wonder
Yeah,
if the
sink
mage
is
can.
just out there. Weird.
I wonder if the mage hand can cup some water.
As long as that water doesn't weigh more than 5 pounds.
Good morning.
Excellent. Good morning. Erdos is going to telepathically cup some water and splash himself. Oh, much better. Well, I suppose we've. Are all walks in your do all walks in your city take? Are they all measured on the scale of days?
Only if you're going from one end to the other, I suppose.
People mostly keep within their districts, I suppose.
For the most part. I mean, there's usually not a lot of reason you need to move around if you're just a regular citizen.
Hmm.
Unless you're devout to one of the temples on the other end of the city, I suppose.
Probably goes by a lot faster if you could, I don't know, fly over all the buildings instead of having to walk around every single one of them.
Well, it sure does. That's why I'm a carrier, after all.
Perhaps if we split up, we could cover more ground.
I don't know about that, friend. Turn a wrong corner, a lot of these places you'll find yourself not in great situations.
We'd be better off finding a solution to make all of us fly.
As you walk out, you see the barkeep currently having a
Hmm.
conversation with the elf server from the other night. But as he sees you all turn the corner, he kind of wraps up whatever they were talking about and puts on his coat and kind of walks in. See her kind of just take a sigh and then stand up and then walk out the door and head off somewhere.
Perhaps we need to hire another guide or two.
I see a commoner over there.
Good morning.
Good
He
morning.
opens up the hatch and steps on in, takes a lean. Can I get you any morning drinks?
A glass of water would be nice.
Of course.
That's I have a question. We would. The symbol is evidence on the wine barrel, correct?
Yeah. It's very obvious.
The strange crescent moon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not hidden at all.
Oh, okay. What is that curious symbol over there?
Ah, that's the house ale.
Perhaps later. Eridos says begrudgingly.
Can I get you anything else? We have all sorts of drinks. Let me check our inventory. You're new around here.
Quite new, although we do have a guide.
We have some white wine from the Menagerie Coast, from a town called Felowin, as well as some red wine.
I am awake. What? Oh, wait.
The resident's alcoholic. I knew it.
We have some other
Eridonis
Yeah.
was not day drinking.
We have some other
Like puddle a bottle of wine to sleep, I mean.
Those are the more simple drinks. We have some basic alcohols and meads. If you want, we could get you some water, some juices.
What would you suggest for a breakfast drink?
For a breakfast drink,
Perhaps.
alcoholic or not?
None, preferably.
Non-alcoholic. I could get you some milk. A nice water never goes amiss, and we do have some cold tea.
Oh, tea would be lovely. Eridos is going to pull out the assortment of donuts.
I'll take the tea as well.
Is it sweet or black?
Black.
Black
Sam.
as the gun.
Get some cups out, and then bring them on over to the table and hand each of you a nice black tea. Sweet and cold.
Oh, black tea with donuts. Now I gotta do that in real life.
It's just southern sweet tea and donuts. Drinking an easy morning. We also have some dishes as well if you'd like to get some meals proper.
We still have our leftover donuts.
These donuts all you'll be eating for the morning.
Well, what else do you have?
We have some couscous, some Somalia porridge. We have a ham and egg sandwich. Easy kind of things. That's what I recommend for breakfast.
Okay. Fighting the temptation to say one of each. Make that 2. For breakfast here.
Of course. 2 ham and egg sandwiches?
Yes.
Alright.
And how much do we owe you for the teas?
Teas, give me 3 silver each.
Alright.
Sorry, copper.
Oh my god, okay.
Silver is a
There we
bit steep.
Yeah.
For the sandwiches, well, this is even steeper. For the sandwiches, I need 2 gold each.
Yes, sir.
Were the pigs that the ham was
Maybe in
cut from?
retro, maybe in
It's fine, it's
retrospect.
fine. No, it's fine.
Silver
it's fine.
for the tea might have been a bit steep. It might not have been that steep. So everyone gets a sandwich?
We're getting hit with 2 espressos.
Yes, everyone.
I can't
everyone-
afford to eat sandwiches here. Are you kidding?
Alright.
Okay, Mr. Rich Pants. Huh?
Fenzira and Eridanis will get a sandwich.
I'll get one too.
Alright,
The 2 broke college students and Mr.
Real.
Moneybags here.
I have
Maybe there's a
122
reason
gold.
you're broke. You ever thought of that?
I have to copy down spells. It's not free.
No way. Eric's about to hit us with that hoist up by your bootstraps type speech.
Also, before you ask, you only bought the fucking treats from yesterday on your own.
So, you all enjoy a
gonna
nice
starve.
meal over the morning. As you do, Sasarok says,
You're poor.
so what business do you have today?
Well,
To find a rare herb dealer and resurrect our dead friend.
simple things as they go.
Fascinating. Resurrection. You must be here for the miracle worker.
We were not a truth, but do tell.
Man goes by the name Darby in the local casino. Many people come to him, but it's rumored that if you can beat him in a game of his choice, that you could win a lot. Some say almost supernaturally so, but I think it's a load of crap. Hadn't seen it prove anything yet. Most of the people who come out of it don't seem to go out well on the other end. Maybe he cheats.
I've heard about this man from the local Cobalt Soul leader.
Really?
Briefly mentioned him. But in truth, I think we'll have more luck in one of the temples here.
Fair enough. Now you dip your toes into everything then. Still, might be worth visiting the casino at some point. And if you see what all the fuss is about, maybe you can tell me about it later.
I'm not really the gambling sort.
Oh, spending some time in Ank'Harel, if you go through without visiting the casino at least once, you'll regret it, I promise you. It's an experience. If you want to be safe with it, you can set aside an amount of gold to take in preemptively, so you don't get carried away.
Now, you're not the gambling type because you're not a fan of gambling, or not the gambling type because you find yourself losing often.
I'm not
that
the
is most
gambling
interesting.
type because playing with your gold coins is a waste of time.
A frequent loser.
What is a waste of time but the amenities that help cleanse the mind? A little bit of fun every once in a while is nothing to look past.
Perhaps
you
you
have
might
as
look in-
much weighing on your soul as I do. It does one good to get through it as quickly as you can.
And don't we all?
Well, might be we could still look into this miracle worker. Perhaps as a sideshow. But for now, this rare herb.
Yes. Who are you looking for? There's a
Rick,
blacksmith.
Somebody, Prick,
There's a blacksmith, Alazakam, and then there is... you're looking for Pick and Garbanzo. They're in the shop at the far end of the district, right below the bridge. They run an oddities store. They collect whatever they can find throughout the city and kind of just keep it in one place. They do sell, but they do like trades. And if you're looking for another source of good fun to get yourself in trouble with, Alazakam sells all sorts of strange, miraculous wares, supernatural kinds of things. They always have a little bit of a catch to them. Strange person.
God. Let's go get cursed even more, guys. Well, that was certainly very helpful. Thank you.
Come back anytime.
Shall we? We're all in a rush.
Yes.
You can really
It's
just
also 10
guess where to
o'clock.
go. Yes, of course. We're
Yeah.
just... I want to get to a point before we stop session. The doors here are left open.
It was closed
yeah.
when we got here.
I figured because it was late at night.
Yes, it was late night, so the doors were shut.
Boom. There we go.
You arrive to the nearby shop, and as you enter in, you see
Oh my god.
quite the sight. You see what looks to be a massive, one smaller kind of gentleman-looking Kenku currently, kind of panicking over in the corner, and then this massive suited Kenku, who seems to be almost assaulting this man in the corner, waving his wings around wildly, shouting, "Thief! Thief! Thief!" Pick kind of runs up and just, "Oh dear."
Is there a problem here?
No problem. No problem. Garbanzo, guests. Garbanzo looks back and kind of keeping one eye on Pick and the other eye on the other side of his head towards the person in the corner, looking in the kind of like in the middle of them. He says, "Thief," and then Pick says, "Let him go. Later." And the guy just kind of creeps out with Garbanzo keeping one big, unblinking eye on him as he leaves. And you just kind of see Pick turn back around and say, "Customer." And that's where we'll end session for now.
Okay, I thought I saw... I was zoomed out, so I thought I saw something else when I saw Garbanzo.
Garbanzo.
Garbanzo.